making plays, I'm about to break some. Keep me off the ball, I run it back, I'm about to shake some. Ready to play, I'm ready to play. Hit hard like a tackle, making plays, I'm about to break some. Keep me off the ball, I run it back, I'm about to shake some.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Coach Smook call-in show, y'all. It's the Coach Smook call-in show. Listen, we got the call-in show today, but we got our pregame kickoff show this morning too, man. We got to get the pregame, all the pregame, what they call it. What's the word I'm looking for? The pregame, what's the word? Your pregame, like your daily schedule. I forget the word. It's a big word. I was trying to come in with the big words today, but they're not rolling right now. They're not rolling. And one reason why is because I ain't had my coffee this morning. But we did get our workout in. We good. What's up, man? Everybody in the chat. Listen, we got a combination. We got a collab today. We got a special guest joining today. Oklahoma Sooner, diehard fan, analyst, team reporter, coverage insider, supporter, alumnus. I think my brother Jason is an alumnus of OU. So we got Jason coming on. Y'all are familiar with my brother. He ain't no special guest no more. He family. We got family pulling up on the show today. We collabing today for the network. So if you're over there on Hall of Fame on Jason's channel, shout out to y'all for pulling up this morning. We got a matchup this weekend between the two fan bases, two content creators. We got our own little chemistry. Me and Jason, we've done multiple podcast panels together. So this one gonna be a fun one. Y'all remember he was on a few weeks ago, just a random live. He popped in and we were doing some good content and we were waiting for this week. So can't wait, man. So welcome in everybody. Khalil Cooper, what's good? Zach, what's good? Kimberly, how you feeling, sis? Brett, what's good? Let me know if y'all can hear me good. I might be loud this morning. I'm feeling hype. It's Friday. The weather is cool. The weather is, we're finally in fall, borderline winter, the way it felt this morning. What's good, MJ? How you feeling this morning? Greg is in the chat this morning. Rich B is out there this morning. Lisa, how you feeling? Scott is over there on Jason's channel. What's up, Scott? Roll Tide. Look, Roll Tide, Scott. I know y'all soon is going to pull up with the masses. Jason will be here soon. I'm just doing the intro to the show. And we're going to hang out with Jason for about an hour, and then we're going to go our separate ways, and then we're going to open the phone lines up. Oh, we might have the phone lines. You know what? Sooner fans over on Jason's side, I want y'all to give me some feedback, and because we're doing this to kind of combine the channels and get our fan bases interacting, because the off season is going to be full of content collabs, and we want y'all to get to know each other. AAA is bigger than Coach Smook Network. AAA is bigger than Hall of Fame Jason. AAA is everybody. We authentic above all. We the real fans out here. I know. I've been seeing some Oklahoma Fairweather fans too. I got a little Fairweather fan report. As a matter of fact, if my mods are up and active, find those Oklahoma tweets and put them in the moderator chat before the end of the stream for me, please. What's up, Gary? Turned up. Hey, and you know what? Before we even get good into the show, man, I got to make sure I do this full roll call. Rich B, what's good, man? Already jumping in with his long paragraph statements. What's up, my boy? He been ready, man. That's what happened when you don't show up to the show every day. You get all these pent up comments and stuff that you want to put out there, and you can't even get past the intro or the roll call before you start trying to spit out stuff. Save it for the show, Rich. We might need to see it later. What's up, Kimberly? How you feeling? Yeah, let's go. Timothy, how you feeling this morning? Hopefully Alabama will not take this game too lightly. The last time Alabama faced on the golly, another one. Timothy, let's get into the show. Hey, relax. It's just Friday, guys. It's just Friday. I'm getting a lot of nervous energy right now from my Bama Nation. Y'all showing up crazy this morning. What's up, Derek? How you doing, Mary? Kimberly? What's up, Jet Fez? J Fez? Scott, how you feeling? What's up? You look like you everyone. I don't know, man. I don't know how many he got over there. No, it's a few of y'all over there. It's a lot of y'all over there. Pulling up, man. Shout out to everybody over there. All the Sooners, y'all pull up, man. Don't be scared to talk. Don't be scared to chat. We got festivities this morning, baby. But yeah, on the show today, on the show, we got the lineup at the bottom of the screen. You can see the lineup. The timeline, we're going to try to stick to that as close as possible and get into this whole show, man. But because we are collabing today, I won't do the infomercials, but if you do see any ads on either side, myself or Jason's side, please do not skip them. It helps the channel grow. It helps both channels grow. It's ad revenue share. The more opportunities we get to advertise on our channel for products and different services, the more our channel gets to grow and the more our channels grow. And I know that's what each and every one of you that's showing up to support both channels want to see happen. You want to see both of these channels grow that you're supporting. So allow those channels to grow by naturally watching those ads as they come along. And I say that because I've been studying and it should be coming up here in about 15 seconds if it hasn't already started. But if you're still here, we're going to be jumping into the conversation today. We're talking about the college football lineup for this weekend. We're talking about Alabama OU matchup. Myself and Jason, we're going to give y'all some predictions, some things to look out for, some things that some Alabama fans may be overlooking and some things some OU fans may be overlooking. And even on that today, man, you want to be a co-sponsor on today's stream here on the Coach Smook Network? It's easy. Want to be a co-sponsor? 5 gifted memberships, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, direct donations, which the links can be provided in our chat over here on the Coach Smook Network side. And all green super chats will be recognized as co-sponsors on the stream today. And because we're collabing today, if you donate green super chats to Jason's side, we'll acknowledge you as a co-sponsor on the stream today too, man. This is a full out collab. This is what I love to do. This is something that I've been waiting to do with a content creator that I believe is putting in just as much work and going just as hard and ain't in their feelings about a little trash talk. I love it, man. Me and my brother Jason Watkins. Bino coming through with the $5 super chat, joining that co-sponsor banner for today's stream, man. I'm telling y'all, my squad gonna come in. Bro, we got some shooters over here with the super chats. I appreciate them. They know our super chat goal. We got a $20 goal on the stream. They approved it, not me. They approved it, not me. So we already halfway towards our super chat goal on today's stream with Bino hitting us with the $5 super chat. And then not just Bino coming through, but my brother Brett Sully. Ayo Sully is in the building with the $4.99, starting the stream off right. One more day till we take over Norman. You better tell him something. Brett. And then Zach rounding it off with the third one. Zach coming through with the $4.99 super chat. That roll, baby, let's go. Zach, it's Friday. You know I'm gonna act up a little bit today, Zach. Where the squad at, man? Cornelio, what's good? I see you over there checking in for the Sooners. I want my Sooners to check in. Y'all need to go ahead and check in, Sooners. There you go. There go my boy Steven. Hey Steven, I heard you play NCAA, man. You want to represent the Sooner Nation and play me? If I could get this gaming stream set up the right way you want to play me, we might have to record it off stream because I don't know what's going on. Or maybe if you got a streaming set up, maybe you could stream it and I just record it to my platform. Them horns in here. Look, them horns in here. Hey, who you pulling for, Drew? Who you pulling for this weekend? Y'all got your own mess to worry about this weekend though, don't it? Who Texas got this weekend? We're gonna talk about those games coming up this weekend. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. We're just trying to give everybody a chance to pull up and get settled in before we start talking. Right before we start getting into the analysis, because we don't want everybody coming in asking questions about stuff we covered. We want to give everybody a chance. And then I'm trying to get it as close to time to where Jason can do what he do, come in, settle down. and get settled in. He had to go take his daughter out. Y'all know he got for y'all that follow him, he got his dog, man. That dog runs him. He don't have no control of his life. That dog runs him. So just so y'all know. But y'all, welcome in again, Zach. Everybody for the super chats, man. Coming in, going crazy this morning. Hall of Fame is in here. I'll be there in a few minutes. Hall of Fame fan Morris. He already talking that crazy noise over there. To his look. Hey, listen. You know what's sad though? It's going to be crazy because me and Jason got to have a conversation to start our Alabama-Oklahoma talk, and we got some footage to reveal. Got some things to dissect, right? But we really going to talk some football because I think a lot of Sooner fans are tricked. I'm not even going to be nice today. I'm going to be straightforward. I'm going to be realistic. I'm not sunshine pumping. I'm talking from a schematic standpoint, stats. We talking numbers. We talking skill sets, personnel. We talk philosophies. We're going to break it down. I just think Oklahoma in a bad situation this year. I said it coming into the season. Said it. I believed it. Regardless of the injuries. And we're going to talk about it, but we're not just going to focus on that. We got a lot of games to talk about, y'all. So right after this infomercial break right here, I just want to give a shout out to my sponsors. And then when we come back, man, we're going to dive into the content of today. Once again, I'll run that schedule by y'all, and then we'll give a shout out to my sponsors. Y'all check it out, man. Here goes the schedule for today. Here on the Coach Smook show, on the Coach Smook call-in show, collabing with Hall of Fame college football Jason Watkins, man. My brother from another mother. Y'all check out this schedule, and then we'll run this sponsor promo. Check it out, man. This is what we got for y'all today.
Leandre Gotha-Tejus.
All right, let's get into this conversations today, man. We got a lot of games lined up for this weekend, man, and I'm going to introduce a few of them to y'all. So we can talk about myself and Jason when he come on. We're going to talk about a few of these, but a few games that stand out to me for this weekend. This weekend's lineup is going to be good. I think a lot of people are getting a week to really settle in for that final regular season game rivalry week. Phil, y'all know how it gets around this time of year. The rivalry games are coming. We got Iron Bowl next week. We got all these other games next week, but there are some games this week that some teams need to focus on if they want to get a bowl game, if they want to remain in the college football playoff runnings. Like there are some games to look at. So I'm kind of don't pay attention to how I'm looking off to the side. That's my other screen. But so what we checking out today, the one that stands out outside of our conference games, outside of Alabama and Oklahoma, not Alabama, but Indiana and Ohio State. And to me, I think this game is getting a lot of hype only because Indiana is undefeated. Now, to sit here and act like Indiana is not playing solid football and they're not handling their competition would be crazy, right? We're not going to sit here and act like this team isn't handling business. They have a schedule that fits. The strength of schedule is weak. They've only played, I think their only ranked opponent that they've played was Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. And we all know what Michigan is looking like. I don't even think they played Michigan last week, and Michigan wasn't even ranked. Michigan wasn't even ranked. That's the only opponent on their team. I mean, on their roster, on their schedule. Let me slow down because I'm getting excited talking about this trash matchup. There's the only opponent on their schedule that was like, if you look at the preseason rankings, strength of schedule team, Nebraska maybe was the only other team on that schedule that was possibly projected to give them a run. But Indiana exceeded expectations, and because of that, everybody was expecting this team to be, on the way up, but they weren't expecting them to be undefeated. So because they've exceeded expectations and they've handled their schedule, they've won these games up until this point. Their most notifiable win is over Michigan. They have to win against Ohio State tomorrow. And if Ohio State loses to an undefeated Indiana team with that weak strength of schedule after only beating Michigan by 5 points, I think Ohio State needs to be punished. I really do. I don't think Ohio State stays in the top 10. I think you put them at 11 for losing to India, because you're already punishing Indiana for being undefeated in the same conference. You're already punishing Indiana for being undefeated in the same conference. So the committee now, because we've gotten to this point, now they're putting themselves in the pinnacle. This game is perfect. This allows them to really set the tone for the final playoff rankings. That's what I look at when I see this game right here. I honestly have Ohio State running away with it. I don't believe Indiana is going to. I think Indiana's a good team. Indiana is a second tier, third tier team this season. Indiana is the Tennessee. They're the Tennessee of the Big Ten, right? They're the Tennessee of the Big Ten. Like Tennessee, Ole Miss, those teams who are right there. They're like, boom, they're winning. They're looking good. They're trending up. And then they lose the big ones against the they're the early phase version of those teams. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup. Looking at the numbers, man, you look at Ohio State, the defense, man. I mean, the Ohio State defense is what's going to really separate this game, honestly, in my eyes. So we'll talk about that one once Jason comes on. But then another game I want to look at, man, Ole Miss in Florida. This is a good game because Florida is starting to look like a team now that DJ Lagway is starting to like get in the feel. I really feel like DJ Lagway. What's up, JB? Welcome in this morning. Good morning. Headed into work, my boy. The hot garbage master. Facts. You low key hope Indiana win. Hey, I know exactly why too. And that's the only thought I had. That I'm gonna say it because I don't care. Y'all know I don't care. I'm authentic. I hope Indiana wins, so the confused fan in our fan base can feel just that much more confused. That's why I would love for that to happen. I would love to see what type of energy follows that up. I would love to see that. I just want to see what it feels like. I know I've never done it. I've never cheered for two Blue Bloods. I've never cheered like in the same day, like be like, go, like really been screaming and emotionally involved for two teams and compete on the same level that traditionally don't get along when they see each other. The only reason, JB, I knew you was gonna feel me on that one. Oh yes, right, Brandon. I'm with that too. I would love for this Cinderella story for Indiana to continue, but my coaching eyes, my football eyes say Ohio State just has too much. Ohio State has too much, and it's going to be showcased. It's going to be showcased in this game. So, diving into it. Give me a second. I just got a text. I'm sorry. I don't like when this happens, but I do like when this happens. Okay. All right. I'm on standby. 2:00. So we got to make sure we do this. Yo, what's good, JC? You ready? All right, y'all. Without further ado, coming to the stage, and let me change my background real quick, since we really supposed to be in Norman right now, but I'm gonna change my background since we about to go. We going to it. We got a brotherly war going on right here, y'all. So coming to the stage. my Pillsbury bro boy, Jason freaking Watkins, man. Let me get my brother on the stage, man. What's up, bro?
What's up with you, man?
Nothing much. Let me get the right camera view up here first. What's good, man?
What's up, bro? I just always gotta throw them horns down because this is what you do at the start of the show.
I'm always with that, man. I'm always with that. And everybody know, I'm always anti-Texas. I even allowed you to trick me earlier in the season to believe that y'all were going to beat them. You remember I did that on live for my brother. I did that for you, Jason.
I didn't realize just how bad it really was at that point. I don't want to talk about that game.
but because you my brother, I was willing to do it. So we jumping into this show, man. We got a lot of college football to talk about. I was introducing the games that we want to highlight. But before we get into it, man, go ahead and give your shout outs, man. Talk to your people. Everybody, Jason Watkins here on the show this morning. Give it up for him, everybody. Yeah. What's up?
Shout out to the Hall of Fame fam. Shout out to the AAA fan, man. The AAA fan, they're always my people, man. But Mark Gam, Stephen G, my boys there. You know, you always got Neilio in here as well. Say hello to Kimberly and hey, Lisa and all them. Hey, everybody that's in here. I appreciate everybody coming in, checking us out. We're gonna have some fun.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for having me on, Coach. Man, I'm enjoying this already.
You already know, man. We said it before the season started. We said we was gonna do it, and that's why all them extra streams. I didn't want people to get tired of us because I know how we do. Me and you, and even Coop, man. I wish we could have had Coop on. Like I rock with the Oklahoma boys, man. I rock with the Oklahoma boys. Like I rock with y'all content. I rock with y'all energy on screen. Like I could rock with it because it's authentic. It's raw, like what I do. So shout out to everybody and shout out to Neilio with the $10 super chat over there for Jason, man. Here's to a great show on a Friday morning. Appreciate that. Appreciate you supporting the content creators, man. This ain't easy work. I know y'all think we just get on this camera and talk, but nah, it's some effort put in this thing. Y'all see the brands behind the heads. This ain't free. So y'all supporters definitely getting put to use, man. So y'all make sure y'all go check out both merch lineups. My bro lineup is fire, man. I don't know if you've been talking about it, but y'all check it, bro. This junk, I'm slick hating because my caps I got dad caps, and that cap right there, we're going for the trucker caps next. So don't steal my junk.
Kind of trucker cap that we got. We got the old school, the puffy old school. I call them the pappy hat because that's what my kids used to call my pops.
Yeah.
And, it was the exact kind of hat he used to wear. It's just, them hats that you would get from every company. You know what I mean? Every company that's giving out hats, it was always the same ones, same stuff. But hey, yeah. So it's been a lot of fun, man. It's getting some new stuff in there. We got stuff that says horns down on it. We got all kinds of different stuff in there.
We got and I'm glad everybody pushing their stuff, man.
I'll shoot you a link. You can grab one of them hats, man, on me, man.
For sure.
You can deliver it up.
For sure. And I'm glad everybody pushing their stuff, man. Like I said, that's why I didn't want to stay in that box. I wanted to go ahead and start pushing the vision that I knew God had given me, and it's doing what it's doing, man. So I'm grateful and I'm happy for you to be here this morning. Let's dive into the conversation. Everybody's here. They want to hear college football. They want to hear talk about this weekend. They want to hear college football playoff rankings, all of that. So I got the little back office set up, and we're just going to kind of flow through this, man. We got a schedule that we want to try to stick to, but you know how I do, man. I will lead that thing right where it is and keep on going with the vibe. So we're here at the 9:30 mark right here to open up the show. We on time. That's crazy. We're right here on time. So Jason, my first matchup, and this is one that I was almost got slipped into talking about, but I think this is a sentiment that both of us share. Indiana, Ohio State. Neither one of these teams, I still don't believe either team is for real, but we're going to see who's for real for that conference. You get what I'm saying? So let's jump into that conversation.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna share screen here, and we'll get into all the ESPN breakdown and everything. But there goes the graphic we're gonna work with, and let me set the screen up the right way, and we'll run it like this, man. We'll just adjust as we go. What's your first initial thoughts on it, Jason? Talk to me. Indiana, Ohio State.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool that Indiana's done what they've done throughout the season. I mean, no matter who's on your schedule, you got to play all the games, and they've won them all. So you got to give them some love. But if you look at it just even more than just a couple of seconds, you realize they really have not played anybody the caliber of what they're about to deal with in the shoe. Playing in Columbus is no joke. And playing this level of talent is no joke. And, people were talking about, you don't believe in quarterback situation. I don't believe in him either, But I don't think he has to be that good when you've got two of the best running backs in the country in the backfield. You've got Chip Kelly running the offense. He's going to spread them out and run downhill. You don't have to be that good. And then defensively, they're probably one of the better defensive fronts in the country. We know they got a really good secondary led by a guy that probably shouldn't be there, probably won't be there for very long, I would think. But, I think that they're really good. So I just think it's too much for Indiana, man. Don't you?
Yeah, man. And I just look at the makeup of what Indiana does. They're not explosive on the offensive end. They'll hit you with a 25, 30 yarder in the right outside the red zone. But they don't have the top end speed on the perimeter to really get Caleb Downs and those safeties out of their, that what I'm saying, from pressing the scrimmage.
Yeah.
Is what I believe Indiana does great, which is run the ball. But Ohio State, they play the run just as good. And I don't think Indiana's offensive line is as good as their statistics and what they've been able to do.
Styles make fights too, right?
Right. I mean, so, and you look at how Michigan's front, who was beat up, their defensive front was beat up. They handled Indiana's offensive line. That game was a lot closer. If Michigan had a quarterback this year, they're not 4 losses. What are they? 6-4 right now, or 7-4, something like that?
Who's that?
Michigan.
Yeah, I think they're 6-5 or maybe
5-5, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, they haven't been good. I mean, but they beat them by 5 points. I mean, it wasn't
right. And if Michigan has a quarterback at any point in that game, that's a different game. So Michigan's 6-4 if they have a viable quarterback. So I just don't trust Indiana. But also, man, I've been watching Will Rogers, and he has so many weapons that you might get blinded by his discrepancies, like all of the things. Like, he doesn't have the most accurate arm. He doesn't have the most strongest arm. He does a lot of play extension. And they're not playing against top 10, top 20 defenses, and he's doing all of this creative stuff. So it's a lot to be questioned with both teams. But in this matchup, Ohio State has the edge for me. But my personal feelings, taking my football eyes away from it, I would love to see Ohio State lose to see what this committee does with the selection after this game. That's the only thing. And to see Ebony be mad about Ohio State losing. That's it.
Little chaos.
Yeah, just because I want to see how consistent, more than anything outside of the petty stuff, I want to see how consistent the committee's going to be when they start talking about strength of schedule, because you're saying Indiana's strength of schedule right now going into this week is not even top 25, top 30 right now. It's believe
it's 106th in the country.
Okay, so after they beat the number 2 team in the nation, does their strength of schedule still stay at 106, or does that strength of schedule stay now that or does it boost up because they beaten the number 2 team, right? Or even if they lose by 3, how do you punish them being at number 5? Do they drop to number 11? Do they drop out of the top 12? So that's what I'm interested to see. I would love for Indiana to win, but I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna call Ohio State on this one. And it's at home, right? Ohio State's at home.
Yep.
So
it's in the horseshoe. Yeah, man. I'd like to see. I mean, I have no love for Ohio State. None.
Zero. I can't stand their fans
and say more things than anybody. I mean, that fan base. There's a lot of delusional fans out there in the world. Ohio State acts like they've been on a Bama run for the last 20 years. That's what they act like. And
they do. But you want to know why? We've given them that freaking gloat magnet with that 2015 win, and that's all they're going to stick to, man. 2015 is going to ring in they ears.
Daddy, though. Clemson is their daddy. What are we talking about?
Facts.
You know, like, come on. Yeah, I'm not with them. But so I would love to see that happen. I think Kurt Cignetti's done a great job at Indiana. with us looking for an offensive coordinator at Oklahoma, they've been talking a lot about Shanahan, who's their OC, bringing him on. I don't know that he's really in the running at this point.
I don't know.
But I still, I'm like, I don't know. I haven't really seen them do anything that makes me. You got to do it against the right people. If they can go out there and make it a game for very long, I'm gonna have respect for that. I don't know if they're able to hang for forever. And
it's just they don't have enough firepower offensively. Defensively, even on the defensive end, they're going to have to play a lot of safe coverage over top. They're going to have to play a lot of safe on the back end, and that takes a lot of what they don't have great team speed on the defensive side. They're just disciplined. They're solid and sound in tackling. You don't see them. They're not penalized. They're one of the fewest, least penalized teams in the country.
Yeah.
So Indiana, they have to play a perfect game to give themselves a chance. I just don't know where I can't look at their stats and their production and see where they're going to find the points. Maybe a turnover because Will Howard is turnover prone, right?
Yeah,
you might catch Will Howard slipping this game. He's been playing great against lesser competition. Maybe he's got a overconfident and he gets 3 or 4 of those throws, and that's what makes the game. But other than that, I don't see it. I don't see it
Will Howard for a long time at Kansas State, though.
Exactly.
He is what he is. And Neilio will tell you, because he's our K-State dude. He'll tell you that when the lights get bright, he doesn't always show up. And so that would be, if there's a concern that you have for Ohio State. But again, I don't think they're going to put him in a position where he has to be winning the game for them. I think with Ryan Day not really calling plays, and it's more on Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly gets in his bag.
Yes,
it could get crazy, but he loves to run the football and he'll keep shoving it down your throat. Right? What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Jimmy?
I just think that overall they should come through this. They should win by at least a couple of scores. But look, sometimes when you get on a roll, the other thing I would say is sometimes when you get on a roll, like we saw with TCU a couple of years ago, they believe in themselves, and there's some magic stuff that happens with teams like that when they come together, and you never know. They got to lose a game before they've lost one. So
yeah,
we'll give them that. But I think it happens this weekend.
100%, man. Moving on, man. Another one that's intriguing. I don't know if you can see it in the back office with the preview. I'm just we didn't plan this, y'all. I told Jason I'm just now getting to a show schedule because my manager, shout out to my manager in the chat, told me that it's going to help us. But and it has. I really appreciate that feedback. But we got 48 on this side on YouTube. I need them likes to run up on the YouTube side, on both sides. We need those likes to run up. If you're just jumping in, go and run the likes up on my brother's stream right there on Hall of Fame, Jason, Hall of Fame coaches, right? And what's the official name?
It's at HOF-CFB.
HOF.CFB. All right, y'all go check it out. He's live right now. Go make sure y'all run the likes up over there, and then also run the likes up over here. Don't need to be rubbernecking and not hitting the like. Y'all know y'all enjoy.
Wipe your feet. Wipe your feet before you come in the house.
Yeah, please do, because we don't want none of our championship or going over there and rubbing off on them, and they all of a sudden get lucky this weekend. All right, but another intriguing game, Jason. Another intriguing game I think we need to pay attention to, because not so much as what it does for college football playoff, but I feel like this team is the team in this conference. And I'm talking about SMU and Virginia. Mm-hmm. When I look at this game, it's not because Virginia is good, but Virginia has played some top end their conference. The top end of their conference, they played those teams very close. They show up for Clemson. They show up for Miami. They show up for all the top end. Duke. They show up for these teams. Now, this season, let's go to look at that schedule. And I'm bringing them up I want y'all to look at Virginia's games. Nobody's just running away with it with Virginia. In no games. Nobody's running away with it. North Carolina was probably their worst game, and I watched that game. That was just a sloppy game from start to finish. But all of their losses, nobody's running away with it. Notre Dame, they took that game from Virginia. They took that. The refs took them out of that game early. That's the game they lost 2 of their guys to the BS targeting call. They're defensive players. So this Virginia SMU game, if SMU can handle Virginia, and then go in and then continue to. I mean, if SMU handles Virginia this weekend, I think they need to be moved in front of Boise State. I think you got to look at Notre Dame, NIU loss early in the season, right? And push them back because SMU is playing better competition than Notre Dame, but you got Notre Dame ahead of SMU. So this is a big game for SMU. If I had to pick a win, I think SMU is doing it, man. I love what they're doing right now. What's the coach's name over there at SMU, bro?
Man, if you hadn't just said it, I'd have it. It's he used to coach with Malzahn for a long time.
I don't want to say Dillingham, but that's his energy. Yeah. He gives me Dillingham energy though with the play calling. That's why
he's really good, man. He's done a great Lashley, Brett Lashley. Thank you.
Yeah, G. And so
he's really good. He's really good. And they've done the thing other than the BYU game where they kind of gagged that one away. But that's kind of where I'm at on some of this too, is that, there's a lot. This CFB bracket is weird, man. The way that you're seeing that these guys are voting, where they're headed, it kind of gets you an idea of where their head's at right now. And the fact that they've got a Mountain West team in the 4 spot. Listen, I love what they're doing there, and good for them that they hung with Oregon at the first.
It's fun, but come on, let's be serious, man.
Even if you did win that game, and they didn't, even if you did, it's one thing to win one game against somebody like that. But going through, you win in Mountain West games, it ain't the same thing. It ain't the same thing. Even if they were to put, had they have done that, and I mean, if they're undefeated, I get it. But if you're going to put them in, and I'll give love to the Big 12 on this one. The Big 12 isn't what it was, but there's a lot of teams that are very similar in the Big 12. And I can guarantee you that Boise State would not be running through the Big 12 winning every damn game. They wouldn't.
You know what? And the same can be said for Notre Dame, bro. I
don't know about that one.
When we get to the Notre Dame talk, I'm telling you, there are some things I see with Notre Dame, and I watched their last 3 games, and this is a team, man. They play so slow. I just imagine them against Vanderbilt. Like let's just talk about a hot SEC team right now, Vanderbilt. You throw Vanderbilt against Notre Dame right now, I think Vanderbilt beats Notre Dame by I'll give you 14 points with Notre Dame and take Vandy.
Bro, that defense is one of the best defenses in the country.
What team speed has that defense seen? What team speed has that defense seen? Who?
They owned Texas A&M in that game earlier in the season. They did. They owned the game.
What was that? Week 1? Week 2?
I'm telling you though, it's week 1. But I'm telling you,
that's like saying defense
the same way. Listen though, you got to think about it. You're talking about SEC speed, which of everything that A&M and even whatever they became later, I'll grant you that they weren't the same football team as they got to be later on. They're still learning their new coach. Dang, I just broke these glasses right out. They had still getting used to their coach or whatever, right? I'll give you that one. But I'll tell you this much. That's the team that we know they've recruited well. We know they've recruited well. They've got dudes all over the field. They're going to beat Texas next week. I can guarantee you Texas A&M is going to beat Texas next week. That's going to be how it is. But and Notre Dame, the one thing about them, they've been bad offensively has been their problem. It hasn't been a defense. They should have beaten Ohio State last year. Coach will tell you if they had a dead body on the line when they didn't have enough dudes they had 10 guys and they trying for it on that 4th down and didn't have enough guys in there. They get the other inch that they needed to get into the end zone if they had a dead body on the field, he says. I agree with him. But what they did was they went out and got Denbrock from LSU. We've seen what that's kind of done to them. He's finally, and Riley Leonard looks a hell of a lot better than he did. That NIU loss is going to be what it is. But I think that he wasn't throwing the ball well then. They've gotten him doing it well now. He's playing really well. They've got good receivers. They're still running the football like crazy. They're going to be a tough out for anybody. You're probably going to get them at home. in South Bend for that first round playoff game because make no mistake, they made that 5 seed for them. And they're going to beat up on USC next week. They're going to beat up on Army this week. Army ain't got a shot there. They don't.
Especially with the injuries they just had. They were on a nice little streak though. I watched them first, and this ain't triple option Army ball and Navy ball no more, y'all. If y'all haven't watched Army, Navy, Air Force play in the past 2 or 3 years, you're missing out on some quality football because they
boogered up Navy though, and Navy was looking good at coming to that point. They made them look really bad.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying there's a difference between those guys and
100%.
About Boise State too. I can't believe where they're headed with that on the CFP that they really got love for these guys.
I think I'm more so upset about Boise State than Notre Dame because at least Notre Dame. They mingle in some conferences. Boise State, they're out there in the Mountain West. Your strength of schedule is literally at the bottom. Like, what are we proving with your one loss to Oregon? I mean, yes, a close loss, but you lose Ashton Gentry, 75% of your freaking production on offense. You're in the same situation Florida State was last year. Do we see that? I'd say the same for Miami. What does Miami have after Cam Ward at the quarterback position? Do they have enough to compete? Because you see what it takes for him to keep that to had them at their undefeated streak. They weren't blowing teams out. They were winning by the refs. And Miami, I think their referee fund probably done ran out. It finally ran out 2 weeks ago, and that's why they took that L. But another game, and that was another game I was going to say is a tricky one. What does Cam Ward and Miami do against Wake Forest this week to rebound? Right,
not really the same as they've been the last few years, though, right? I don't think.
Right,
but here's the one thing.
It's the time of the year, though, right?
Yeah, and this is the one thing about Mario Cristobal is he could lay an egg at any time.
Anytime. That's what I'm saying. This is that time of year. This is Cristobal's time of year for him to do what he do.
Well, it feels like though the fact that they did it against Georgia Tech again.
Well, Georgia Tech is actually solid. Georgia Tech was solid last year too.
But they still shouldn't have won the game. Come on,
man. Georgia Tech was solid, bro. Come on.
I like him, but wait. Last year, though, the only reason Georgia Tech won is because he didn't take a knee.
True. But this year, Haynes King was just on one, bro. And this is
Haynes too. They've done a good job there at Georgia Tech for what they are.
All right, so check this out, Jason. Do you think Texas A&M is in the same position this year with the development? With Haynes King still there? Hot question, because we said we and for everybody that's in here that's waiting for us to talk about Alabama OU, we got plenty of energy for that, but we got some good college talk that we can be talking about. Haynes King was at A&M, remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you think A&M is in the same with how they've recruited and NIL, how it's changed? Because he left right after NIL. You remember all that transition?
Sure.
Like, do you think, because they were trending up in recruiting already and everything?
Yeah, listen,
I like his game. I look at what they try to get out of Connor, and I think Haynes could have.
I think he's kind of mid, but I think he can. He's what you like about him is he's not really afraid. He'll go in there and kind of play hard, and he's competitive. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that's competitive. I don't look at Haynes King as like that guy.
Okay,
I think that the biggest thing, he probably got more development after he left because we know Jimbo wasn't getting it done. Like,
oh my God, that I tell you, it's some stories I heard about playing under Jimbo. Oh my Lord, as a quarterback,
come on,
man, it's hard to believe that some of these great names have this, like some of those narratives attached to them. And I couldn't imagine. I don't care how great of a coach you've been historically. I couldn't imagine letting my son go and play for you and letting my son call me and talk about the conversations and the things you're saying to him. Nothing related to football. And you, what? And Jimbo would have.
Look, I don't even have a problem with anybody smoking weed or doing anything like. But when you're doing it in the locker room, you're getting. It's so crazy that you're doing it in a visiting locker room at South Carolina.
Come on, bro. And just tried it, and then in South Carolina at that point,
like you didn't even do it. It wasn't even at home. You did that in South Carolina. That was wild to me. But Jimbo was man. He did he good for him. He had them talked into that they were going to hire him at LSU and got his money. Walks away. They paid him $80 million to not coach anymore. Not coach anymore.
Well, I would have took that in a heartbeat.
They didn't lose everybody, man.
They didn't.
And Mike Elko is a real deal coach. It's a little scary
what he's doing after with the aftermath.
Yes, man, because they're not afraid to spend the money. They
have it
with Texas, especially with Texas now in the league, and they didn't want Texas or OU in the league. Believe that. But it's that little brother thing. But Elko doesn't work like little brother. That's not the way he is. The rest of them have always had that inferiority complex, just like you guys with Auburn and us with Oklahoma State. That inferiority complex thing is real, right? It's a real thing. But that's not how he operates. He's not afraid. And I'm telling you another thing. Marcel Reed gets going, you're in trouble because the kid can fly. He can throw it a little bit. I like their scheme. I think that that Klein's done a really good job as coordinator there as well.
Yep. You know that was a Bama target. You know, he was a Bama target, not this past season after Saban retired, but the year when we had signed Tommy Reese, Klein was definitely a Bama target and was very close. But his thing was he wants control of his offense, and we know Saban ain't trying to do it.
Well, we saw Elko in that first game when they were losing, and he kept going back to the pass. Elko was yelling, "Run the effing football!"
Yep.
You can see it on the sidelines. And once he kind of got his rhythm and with what he was doing with Elko, they've been good, man. They've been good.
Hey, he said, keep your hands off Colin. Nah, we coming for him. Because we know DeBoer ain't staying long. We know we got maybe 4 or 5 years with DeBoer before somebody start picking. And they might try to come get Shep from us. I've been hearing Shep's name in a lot of houses, man. Coach Jamarcus Shepard. A lot of houses, a lot of young Power 5 schools are willing to gamble on this. It's a lot of coaches, man, especially OCs and DCs coordinators. That quality, and with the way that the game is changing, the turnover can be crazy.
Oh yeah, and right now with the buyouts, what they are, I think you might end up seeing a run on coordinators this year.
Facts.
I think you're going to have to, because some of the guys that probably should get fired aren't going to get fired, like Billy Napier. You know?
Right, but I got that game on the lineup too. We're gonna talk about that Ole Miss Florida game. Wake Forest and Miami. I'm running with Miami. I think they rebound. I think Cam Ward does enough. If he as long as Cam Ward don't get hurt, Miami wins out. They lose to SMU in the ACC championship.
Ooh. Yeah, I can't disagree with you, because Mario hadn't shown me anything. You know, I like Cam. I think that Cam is. Well, I think the two best quarterbacks in the country it's Shador and then Cam Ward.
100%. I agree with that.
So
I agree with that. And everybody know, all my Bama folks know I love Jalen, but best quarterbacks in the country.
Too, man. Yes, of course. I love him. I think he's a great player.
Cam is different, bro.
Yeah, and as far as polish is concerned, both of those guys, they're skilled passers. They're skilled, and like Shador didn't even really run that much. He can, but he doesn't. He sticks with the pocket. This is a guy that even with 55 sacks last year, he still had 27-3.
Yep.
He was still putting up numbers, and he was getting his ass kicked all year. This year they've kept him upright a little bit. Now, of course, it's the Big 12. It's a little different deal. But for all those people that were saying 4 wins at the start of the season, he's already doubled that. They're probably good. And to me, this is going to be their tough game, this Kansas game this weekend. What do you think about that one? Ask you about that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really like it.
And I like it. Turned it on.
As a matter of fact, let me pull that one up for next. You talking about the Colorado game this weekend, right?
Colorado, Kansas, yeah.
And see, a lot of people are going to get. I'm gonna have a take on it. What's your thoughts? I'm gonna go ahead and get mine. Let me do mine first.
Go for it.
I think Colorado's gonna blow Kansas out. I know Kansas came in, got the upset last week. I I think Colorado's really on a legit upward trend right now, man. And this is something like I'm looking at that trench play. It's always been the trenches since Prime took over. It's always been the trenches where they've had the disadvantage. It was mostly the offensive line and lack of depth on the defensive side. Yeah. You look at what they did on both sides. A bunch of unproven talent. They went in the portal and got a bunch of unproven talent this year. I'm talking about stacks of it. They didn't just go and get big names. They got stacks of unproven talent, guys that were 4 stars, 5 stars before, been sitting on rosters for 2 years, ain't developing or ain't coachable. And now they coming into this culture and he's pulling this character out of them. And they're putting it on the field. I'm seeing the team get better every week. So I don't think this is a close game for Kansas. I don't think with the way that the secondary at Colorado play and the way that the wide receiver group, that Kansas is going to have to account for that. And once you do that, that running back at Colorado, I forget the young man's name, but that lateral perimeter speed he has and stick his foot in the ground, get up, man. It's a lot of speed to deal with for Kansas, and they're going to have to do it. And Jalen Daniels, his arm, his inaccuracy against Travis Hunter in that secondary.
Okay, I'm with you, kinda. But here's what you got to look at. Since after that UNLV game, they beat West Virginia, but then they lost to TCU, and then they lost to Arizona State. So since then, though, and that was their 6th loss. Since then, they've beaten Houston badly. They all but beat Kansas State. And that never happens, but it was 29-27 was the final there. Then they turn around, they beat an undefeated Iowa State team that I really like.
I called that game. I called Kansas to beat them though. Iowa State's offense isn't great, but it's gotten way better since last year. That's what has kept them over the hump up until this point.
A lot, yeah. I think he's a good player, but nobody really saw that one coming, I guess, except for you. But I'll tell you this, they went out and won a hard-fought game with BYU last week and that one was in Provo, bro. Provo. That's one of the toughest places to play. One of the toughest places in the country to play. They go in there and get that win. Look, Jalen Daniels is that X-factor guy I get it. Yeah, early in the year, he was not making the right throws. And I would also tell you that I think a lot of that had to do with Kotelnicki leaving. Their coordinator, they were used to him. Yeah, they had a new coordinator, not Matt Wells. He's at Kansas State. They have a new coordinator there. I'm trying to remember what his name. Anyway, he struggled there. But I think Lance Leipold is also one of the best coaches in the country. If you know what Kansas has been, and you do, for them to turn that thing around in the short amount of time that they have. Lance Leipold is that dude, man. Look, he is. I think that Colorado wins because I think that they just have too much they just have too many weapons. And here's the thing. When you have 2 likely Heisman finalists, because I think that Shador's the best quarterback in the country. I think that Travis Hunter might be the best player.
Ain't no might be. And you're talking about a fan of a team that has Jahai Campbell, Jalen Milroe, Kendrick.
Well, I think Ryan Williams might be the most explosive player.
Ryan Williams, right? You get what I'm saying? I got all these players that I watch every Saturday, and I could turn on the Colorado game, and I could look on the field, and 12 is different from every player on the field. And you can turn on the field and watch 12 and think about everything you watched during college football that day. And every play you're waiting for 12 to make a play because you know he can do it. Like that's just who Travis on both sides, anytime he's on the field. Yeah. You can just throw him on the field and be like, okay, Travis Hunter's but he is the best player in college football right now. And that's
the thing. So they still got Jimmy Horn Jr., who's played a fantastic couple of seasons over there, really.
Weiss
is, yeah, bro, they've got they're lit up. And with Jordan Seaton kind of holding it down, even as a freshman, he's done a great job.
And
they went and got Phil Lodeholt was the assistant to Bill Bedenbaugh on the offensive line. He played for Bill Bedenbaugh. He had a good career in the NFL as well. They're loving what he's doing with the offensive line, and he's doing it with a bunch of mixed pieces. Look, this team is not, and you know what else they're doing? Quietly They're not being as mouthy and doing all that stuff that they were doing last year. I mean, they're always going to do it with a little flash, but you're not hearing all the shit talking that you were last year and craziness, right? Look, if I'm BYU, and you know, I'm not positive that they finish this off and get in there. It looks like they're gonna, but I'm worried if CU doesn't. If CU gets in there with them, if CU doesn't lose this game and mess up their chances to get in with them, they're going to beat BYU. They just got too much firepower.
Too much, and that's my deciding factor. This Colorado team
have it though.
They're healthy at the right time.
Yeah,
they're really clicking offensively. But I want you to pay attention to something else that Colorado's been doing. Colorado has been forcing turnovers the past 3 or 4 games. I want to believe, and I'm gonna pull the stats up. Let me pull this up. I want to say the last 3 games, they've went on their little streak of turnovers. So against Utah, which I believe was one of their best wins of the season, when they
blew them out,
and when they dominated Utah, the run game and pass game, it wasn't just like Shedeur scrambling and making crazy plays, but then the defense forcing turnovers. Utah was one of the most least turnover. I think there was the turnover differential. They were +4 or something going into that game. +4 Utah was, and man, come on, man. This Colorado team is serious. I don't think they're elite. I just think they're on the trend right now to where you don't want to see them this weekend or next weekend. Now, maybe after another bye week where they got some time to really just get caught up in the distractions and stuff, that's when you want to see them. But this team right now, on the field, coaching-wise, schematically, they seem to be coming into a groove, and Kelly is doing his thing too.
I would just warn against Jalen Daniels is electric. When he's playing well, and he's played well for the last month, he hasn't been turning the ball over anymore. The dude can get you both ways. He's another one of those kind of quarterbacks that, man, if you think you got him in the backfield and all of a sudden he squirts out and he's out for 50 yards, man. He's just that kind of guy. I'm telling you, this is going to be a tough one. It's an Arrowhead. I don't know that Arrowhead really helps him, right? I don't really think it does.
I don't. I think that's what hurts them more than anything. I think it hurts them.
It could hurt them. I don't know what it's going to look like. I think we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not going to tell you this is going to be an easy win. But I'm going with Colorado. I do think CU wins it though. I do think CU wins it. I think they're on a run. And they believe in themselves. And there's, like we just talked about with Indiana earlier, when you get on that little hot streak and you win these games, and like, look, Utah beat the hell out of them last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it may have been a little closer than that was actually a decent league. It was a decent game, but they didn't have Cam then either. This freshman, but man, they kind of owned them. They dominated it early. Utah started making a little bit of run, and then they stepped on their neck again. When you start having those little things happen the right way for you, momentum's the deer. You know how it is.
Man, and that's what college football has become, a game of momentum, a game of swings, because of how potent the offenses are, how quick they can strike, and you really can't dictate the game with defense as much as you really have to have keyed on a weakness that they just can't work out of, and that's very seldom that you're able to do that at the college level. You can do it a lot at the high school level. You can even do it at the NFL level once you got a certain amount of injuries and just timing and everything is off, because you can't bring guys in that's going to know your system, that's going to fit all this and get practice done in 2 days to be ready for Sunday, like all of that. So college level, it's a lot harder. So when you get exposed like that, it's not hard to stick with. Let's kind of run through these next few ones, man, that I'm going to talk about so we can get to our talk, because we got the phone call segment that I want to get in today. Everybody excited about our matchup. I think a lot more optimistic Oklahoma fans waking up this morning, which is I don't blame you. There's reason to be. You start looking at the numbers, fandom aside, you start looking at some things on the field, regardless of injuries and everything. As an Alabama fan, you probably are excited. But then as a coach, somebody that sits up in the box, that's spent some time in the box, these are the games where you don't really have nothing to really go off of, because they're still figuring it out. So you're trying to figure it out.
Right.
So you're playing on the fly just like them, especially on the defensive side against Oklahoma. So we're gonna dive into that. But a couple more big games right here. I'm gonna just scroll through them right here, Jason. We got Oklahoma, Florida. I mean, Ole Miss, Florida. I'm sorry, Ole Miss, Florida. I really think with this game being in Gainesville, Ole Miss got to be careful, man. Florida has been looking like a team. The last, I want to say, even the loss when Lagway went down. No, when Lagway finished the game, and I think they had lost to.
Bro, DJ Lagway looks like he is that guy, doesn't he?
Bro, you remember all the hype behind him coming into this? Their loss to Georgia. That's what it was. The loss to Georgia. In the middle of that game, before DJ went down, that game felt like it was Florida's game. That game felt like it was Florida's game. And then you see them turn around and come back. Kentucky game, they handled that. A tough loss to Tennessee last week, which I feel like they just got taken away from them. Oh my God, in the third quarter. And
Tennessee lost that. And well, it's big for Tennessee because Tennessee doesn't ever beat them, no matter what. They never seem to beat them, right? So to get that win, even though it was at home, I agree.
Yeah, that and Florida actually looking solid. So I say Ole Miss, don't go to sleep. We know what Ole Miss is. They are trending up. They are playing solid defense. Pete Golden looks like freaking the Saban assistant that freaking rose above the ashes, like rose out of the ashes. Like Ole Miss defense look good.
It does. I think that they're right up there with the best in the conference for sure. But look at how they stepped on Georgia's ass.
Stepped on them.
That didn't look good for Georgia at all. I think it's another one of those styles make fights things. I still think that when you look at the coaching here, it's not really close. Billy ain't the guy.
He ain't, man. And we've been saying that since.
And as much as Lane has had his bad moments, he's had his success this year too. So to me, I think
he ain't losing to a Billy.
I don't know. He's definitely better than Billy.
Has Lane ever lost to a Billy?
No. He loses to Kirby or Saban or somebody like that.
Yeah, but Billy's style of coaching just don't even face Lane. You get what I'm saying? Like he don't even present. I don't think Napier can present a play calling script that'll make Lane be like, all right, let me turn the page on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I feel like Lane coming out with just the pocket pistol. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even bringing out the AR or the shot. He just bringing out the pocket pistol. He gonna let off them 13 and then he going home.
You know what was the crazy thing to me when that Georgia game, they ended up having to put in the backup for that series, and he went right down the field like it wasn't nothing.
Austin Simmons, I believe the young man's name is.
Yeah, Austin Simmons. That's his name. Stud.
He is the next one. They calling the boy Tall Tua. That's what Tall Tua. That's what we was calling him.
They're down the barrel a few times because they sent some crazy blitzes at him. They
he stood in there.
Hey, the kid balled. He balled, man.
I was like, son, protect yourself a little bit. You know, you could short arm some of those with a flick of the wrist. I mean, straight follow through.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Tall Tua. Chat, how many of y'all? We haven't talked to the chat much. We've been looking at y'all, but we've been just. This is my brother, man. So when we on the screen together, it's like we get to catch up and be vibing. So we're trying to build it up for this. I'm trying to find the Oklahoma hate because I really can't. I can't. If RJ Young was on here, I'd be cussing. I'll be doing all of that. But it's my brother, so we're gonna give it to y'all though, because it's some numbers and stuff that I know he's gonna argue, and I'm gonna shut that crap down.
Hey, there's a lot of Oklahoma fans that do not love RJ anymore.
Oh, I already know.
For real.
I already know. And he been real quiet. He been trying to outsource and be cordial to the other fan bases and give people props now. He been real apologetic.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Pocket pistol. Yes, sir. Listen, y'all better heard me when I said it.
Jordan said
Timu. Yeah, hey, Jordan is a fool, man. So if you ever get in the live game day chats, man, if y'all in the Discord, Jason's in the Discord. Y'all got to come to the live game day chats on Discord when we have them. When we're not live on YouTube doing a live watch party. Our game day threads are funny as crap, man. I'm actually going to do a montage
just so I can get I get to cracking up when I get in there
right?
Every day, pretty much every day.
So if y'all aren't part of the Coach Smook Network Discord, We have the link available for you in the chat, man. Definitely join. It's not just for Bama fans. We got Georgia fans in there. We got Texas fans. We got Michigan fans. We got one Auburn fan, but he been quiet. He been silent all year.
Chris, right? Got to be Chris.
Nah. I don't even think you know him. I won't say his name because he kind of in the doghouse right now. So I ain't gonna do that to him. Okay. I ain't gonna do that to him. Okay. But because he been ghost. But I know he work. He got life going on, so I'm gonna leave him alone. But yeah, y'all check it out. Huh? I
was just saying, what's up, BT?
Oh yeah. Everybody in the chat, man. Everybody in the chat. Hey, what was the other game, man? I had another game lined up. Was it an SEC? I forget. It was one more game, bro, and I wanted your thoughts on because I feel like it.
I wanted to ask you a question too. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah, ask it. Let's talk.
Texas, Kentucky. That's the last one. I don't care to talk about Penn State because they not playing nobody. I don't think Arizona State catches BYU slipping after the loss they took last week. We talked Kansas, Colorado, South Carolina has Wolford. Both South Carolina and Clemson have kind of cupcake games. Missouri, they're on the downfall, just injury prone and all of that stuff. They're hurting them, but they got Mississippi State. Right, like Missouri just folded. Notre Dame, Army. Like I said, I don't think Army has enough, and they got some injuries on that side, on the offensive side. And they playing at the Yankee Stadium. That game always gets ugly. Boise State, Wyoming. I mean, Auburn, Texas A&M. If y'all don't blow Auburn out, I know something. If Texas A&M, and I don't care that it's at Jordan Hare. Auburn is a horrible team this year, bro. Yeah, they're a bad team. They're a bad team. Like, you turn the film on, 6 plays out of the 70 some plays that they run on offense, or 60 plays they run on the offense side are bearable to watch, and then the other 60 are just horrible. So A&M better handle business. Utah or Iowa State. I think Utah might beat Iowa State this weekend. I really do, and that's that. But the game I want to get your thoughts on. We in the SEC right before we jump into Alabama, Oklahoma, and this is one I know you're ready to dive into. Texas, Kentucky, man. Are you a part of the group of people that are saying Texas is going to blow Kentucky out, or are you a part of that group of people that, like me, and say don't sleep on Kentucky?
Nope, don't sleep on Kentucky. And I think that this is one of the games that I've said from the start of the year that Texas could lose.
You did. I was just going to ask you that. Can you? And I was going to give you your props because at the beginning of the season, all I was vying on was Kentucky just having a solid run game, solid defensive front. Kentucky is a complete team. They just haven't been able to put it together every game. But the games where they do start off early and start quick, like they did against Georgia early in the season, where their defense can get a beat on you, don't let that offense catch wind. And Texas has allowed offenses to catch wind.
Look, and Benji, I just kicked you out for a reason. We're not listening to this today. I'm gonna give my side of this, and I don't care what you think. Benji, the Texas fan. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal with this. I think this was one of those games that I felt that way. And then I really felt that way. They have their moments that they don't look very good at all. But Kentucky's problem is offensively, right? They just not getting it going on the offensive side. They've struggled to run the ball a little bit. That's going to hurt them in this game. But here's the thing. You look at this game last week. I mean, they got lucky and didn't have to go to Arkansas at night. If that game's a nighttime game, Quinn, hey, you know me, I call Quinn Ewers, pregame Prozac, man. He needs them. This is a dude that can fall apart. As much as I know everybody watched him do what he did against an Alabama team that wasn't the same Alabama team that we saw later in the year, or even the direct week after that. They don't beat that. They don't win that game at the end of the year for sure. Quinn is that guy that in the big moments, he seems to shrivel a little bit. This is why I really think they lose to A&M. I think there's a really good chance that Kentucky could win this game just because of the fact that Quinn hadn't been great. And they're so hesitant to try to go to Arch or anything like that. You look at what happened, though. It was a 1-point win for Georgia, right, against Kentucky. So we know their defense is going to step up. And Georgia busted them up in Austin. I'm just saying they've played one team that's good, really, and they lost. They're still where they are because they really haven't played a very good football team this year yet. Vandy is what it is. If Vandy doesn't let them jump out ahead, they win that game. Right? You got to kind of play from in front if you're those guys. But they still almost won the game. I'm just telling you, I would tell you for sure that I believe that Kentucky could win. I don't know that they do. They could. They're losing to A&M next week though. And they're not, and they won't get in the playoff either when they do, because the dudes they've played the most JV schedule I've ever seen for an SEC team.
You remember when my argument to you, when we was talking about Oklahoma and Texas coming into the SEC, I said Texas, the way their roster is set up right now, what they're getting in the portal, what they got in the portal, and how their roster was already set up, and their schedule, if they can get to that Georgia game with 1 or no losses, Texas might be a 10-2 team. Did I not? I said this. I said they're gonna come in, but it won't be a reflection of how good they are. They're coming in, they're playing. I said they catching Florida on the down year. They catching Georgia. They might catch Georgia slipping because they got them at home. They catching OU in their actual setting year, trying to establish who they are. They're going to catch Mississippi State. I said they catching everybody. They don't have to see Alabama. They don't have to see Ole Miss. They don't have to see a tough LSU like night game. They don't have to go to Baton Rouge this season. They didn't have to go to freaking South Carolina, right? They didn't have to go to something like, they skipped out on a lot. They didn't go to Athens. You know, but now they got to end the season. They got to go to Kyle Field. But this game right here, playing Kentucky at home, a team, and we all know what Stoops does.
Yep.
In these games, he's gonna see how tough you are. He don't care to be flashy. He's gonna see how tough you are. And if Steve Sarkisian and this offense aren't able to get started fast, they're going to be in trouble. I'm not sure about the Kentucky lineups as far as injuries. Miles, can I get a Kentucky injury report in the chat, please? I mean, in the moderator chat on Discord, moderators.
Let me see.
That's going to be a huge. That's the huge deciding factor for me. There's 3 key players that I believe will be the difference for Kentucky being able to sit. They're 2 interior defensive linemen. If they're healthy, they're going to be solid on the defensive side. That's all they need. I don't think Texas has the advantage in the wide receiver core against Kentucky's secondary, especially the scheme that the style of defense that Kentucky's going to run. And I don't think Kentucky's going to try to prove that by going man a lot either in this game. They're going to force Quinn Ewers to freaking beat the zone blitz. He struggles with it.
Yeah, and not just say this too, but in Benji's and they're 9-1, and they scored first. You had a 21-10 lead and nearly squandered it. Stop with that already. And here's one thing: they've played one real team, and it's not even as real as it's been, Georgia, and they beat the shit out of you in your own house. Stop acting like they're so good.
BNG. So timeout.
Stop it.
BNG. I'm gonna pull up the schedules right now. I got Texas schedule up right now, and I want you to see how trash y'all schedule is. I'm just gonna start naming names. I'm gonna go through A&M schedule, and we ain't even gonna talk. We're not even gonna do this on a thing of like, all right, this is what they are now. Let's just think about these teams for what we know them before this season even started. If I pulled up a Texas A&M schedule and Texas schedule at the beginning of the season, I look at Texas schedule and I see week 1, and I'm going down the list: Colorado State, Michigan, UTSA, UL Monroe, Mississippi State. Let me start over. You got Colorado State at home. You play at Michigan. You got UTSA at home. You got UL Monroe at home. You play at Mississippi State. You play a neutral site rivalry game at Oklahoma against Oklahoma. You get Georgia at home. You get Vanderbilt. You go to Vanderbilt. You get Florida at home. You go to Arkansas. You get Kentucky at home, and then you got to play another rivalry game at A&M at A&M. That is a weak schedule. All your games that would prove that you were somebody You had them at home. And the one that you needed to win to prove that you were really solid in the SEC against Georgia, a team that is not even the top dog in the SEC anymore.
Georgia, this is the same Georgia that we've seen. Now look at you're gonna sit there and we lose. We won by 2 scores. We beat Arkansas by 2 scores. It wasn't a 2-score game until you at the very end they go down.
Last minute. Come on, bro.
Put that in, bro. You're stop it. You're being delusional. And you're doing this more and more every week, bro. You got
let's look at A&M schedule. You got versus Notre Dame, first game of the season, right? A top 10 ranked opponent even at the beginning of the season. I think Notre Dame was number 10 to start the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were in the top
14 or number 10. I can't remember.
They were definitely
no, they were number 7. They were number 7. Mm-hmm. So you got Notre Dame, McNeese State. They go handle McNeese. They're at Florida for their first conference game at Florida. They didn't get Florida at home. They're at Florida. They get Bowling Green, another cupcake. Then they play Arkansas. Then they play Missouri. Then they beat Arkansas same way y'all beat them. So Arkansas ain't no trash team. We're not gonna act like Arkansas wasn't a tough team. They beat them just like y'all did. Missouri, they go and kill Missouri. They go and handle Mississippi State. They throw in their third string in and give it up.
Missouri. No, they didn't play Missouri. They played Mississippi State, and they struggled with Mississippi State for part of it too. Oh, A&M, Missouri. Destroyed Mizzou.
Yeah, they destroyed Mizzou. But then they go and they win that big night game against LSU with the backup quarterback. That's when the season changed for A&M. When they found out that the backup quarterback was the difference, when they removed Connor Wagman, that's another thing. Y'all don't want to see. Okay, we don't even go. Then they go. South Carolina comes in and really. Everybody's seen South Carolina coming.
They have the best defensive line in the country.
He said this at the beginning of the season. If South Carolina could find any type of an offense, watch out. Everybody in the SEC was talking about Shane Beamer and the South Carolina team.
He's not a great coach. He's a great recruiter, though.
And he's a very interpersonal coach. The player's going to play for him. Mm-hmm. When it comes to game management, though, he looks lost. And ain't nothing wrong with that sometimes, man. Sometimes you just got to accept who you are, man. Take a D coordinator job, get your best buddy in there and be a head coach, and you just do what you do best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get that big paycheck. You get what I'm saying? Let's do what you do best. But then you talking about A&M schedule. They got South Carolina, another SEC power. Got New Mexico State. They handle that business. They got to finish at Auburn, and then they got y'all to end the season. So I'm just looking at the strength schedule. Them having to go to big spots. Y'all have had all your tough games at home, and the biggest one you had to handle, you dropped it against Georgia.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you, though, Texas fans, because that helped us. You know, y'all losing to Georgia kept us in this.
Well, they don't have a big win. They were hoping that Michigan was a big deal. Michigan is not a big deal. Michigan is not good. Let's just call it what it is. They're not good. And I got a question to ask you in a minute about that Underwood deal. But look, I'm just gonna say this. Hey, South Carolina, you better be glad that you didn't have to play South Carolina there, Benji. They'd have whipped your ass too.
And you know what? I'm glad we got South Carolina when we did, because that was right around the time that game they were figuring it out as they were playing us.
They lost by 2. If it wasn't for a terrible, terrible officiating, they beat the crap out of LSU.
Mm-hmm.
They were winning that game by 17 at one point. That's part of the problem with Beamer. But the other part was the quarterback goes down, and then they had some awful calls at the end of that game that went the wrong way on that. And everybody knows that. South Carolina, look, everybody's got to admit we were wrong about them. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I did. But
nobody did. We knew they would have a defense. Everybody knew they would have a defense.
Right.
We just didn't think that they would be able to suffice or do anything on the offensive side.
Are different.
Lenore Sellers, man.
Yeah.
I like that young man, that quarterback. Lenore Sellers, the quarterback for South Carolina. He's a baller, man. And I think now that he's starting to gain some confidence in the system, is going to be a different thing going forward. They're going to be able to track a few weapons in the portal.
I want to tell you this thing. We could, instead of doing this against Texas A&M, let's talk about this of the differences between the schedules for Oklahoma and Texas, because this is when you know that the SEC, that Texas was doing what Texas does, trying to, work their way into. They're the brand. Everybody wants them to be able to do their thing. Look, where Oklahoma played Bama, and we played Bama, Tennessee, Mizzou, Ole Miss. The only top end team in this conference that we will not have played at the end of this season is going to be Georgia. Yeah, the rest of them they've played Florida, Vandy, Mississippi State instead of Ole Miss. You know, they're not playing.
Come on now. Come on. Talk about it, Jason.
They didn't have to play Tennessee. They didn't have to play any of these really good teams. They played Georgia and OU. That's it. The rest
Jason,
of them.
Not only that, but this was our argument against Georgia fans for the longest, being in the East. Y'all didn't have to see a night game LSU every season. Y'all didn't have to see.
Even though I don't think Mizzou's very good, but Mizzou's got a good record.
Right.
We'll see what they, but look, in the end, they set up that schedule for them to get into the playoff because they wanted them to get in the playoff the first year. I still don't think it's going to happen. If
they get in the playoffs, it's because Alabama or Georgia gets in the SEC championship and loses and becomes a 3-loss SEC runner-up team. That's the only reason you have to keep Texas in, because they don't have a chance to get that third loss. They had their second loss, and you have to put them, because you kept them in front of the other SEC teams this whole time. You have to put them back in front of the guys that you know are deserving. So that's the only way they get in. But yeah, Texas, Kentucky. I got. You know what? I'm gonna go on a limb just because Ben G is in here, and I don't like Texas. I'm going with Kentucky for the upset in Austin. I'm on camera. I don't care. I ain't got no dog in the fight. I don't like Ben G's fandom right now. I don't like the fact that you're a Texas fan, Ben G.
He's being delusional Texas fan right now, acting like that they're the elite team in the country, that they should be number 2.
But they have not beat anybody worth saying you are that team. You know who else Texas ain't beat? Who Texas head coach ain't beat? Why you sitting here talking about you run the SEC? It's a coach over at Alabama that the Texas head coach is 0-2 against. Most recent suffering his last loss in the playoff to this coach. With a team with far less talent, must I might add, far less talent defensively, if we want to be specific.
Hey, look at what Kentucky did to Ole Miss.
And
better than Texas, guys.
Nobody's talking about the Ole Miss early season losses and who gave it to them. Kentucky has always they are still dealing with the same thing they've always traditionally dealt with. You're talking about confidence.
Confidence. Yeah,
it's a confidence thing with every quarterback they bring in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, it's a confidence thing. Once they get a quarterback to believe in what Kentucky is doing, that you ain't got to throw the ball 800 times in the season to be successful. But when you throw it, we need you to be accurate, and we're gonna put you 2 weapons on the perimeter, because that's all they got. 2 weapons that they're gonna use, and then they go run the ball with 3 running backs, 4 running backs. They're gonna let their quarterback run the ball. They're going to lean on that big old offensive line. They're going to recruit big at the offensive line. They're going to move the ball on the ground. That's what Stoops going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to be physical.
Kalen DeBoer owns them for sure, Jay.
Oh,
got that one right.
100%.
He owns them. And so here's the deal. We don't have to stay on this. I'm going to go ahead. I'll pick Kentucky. I don't know that they win this game, but just because, Benji, I'm getting sick of you, I'll pick Kentucky too.
I'm feeling it.
And I guarantee you they lose the next one. They're not going to make the playoff because of it. They're not going to make the playoff because of it.
For sure. So before we go into this next segment, this next segment, me and Jason got about 45 minutes left together, y'all. Before we go into this next segment, I'm gonna run this infomercial break. Give us a chance to refuel. Get some. You got your cup on the side, Jason. I'm gonna refill over here.
And I'm gonna hit you with one question before we go into the Alabama.
Let's do that.
All right. You want to do it now? Or after
do it now.
No, I was thinking about, obviously you saw that Bryce Underwood flipping to Michigan. That's going to have a lot of that has to do with money, right?
Yeah.
10 to 12 million, somewhere in that area that they obviously gave him. But here's the thing.
$8 million for 4 years.
With the way that, I remember Matt Moscano talking about Alabama burning. But I got to say, do you think if you hadn't seen what you saw at the end of last week when they lost to Florida of all teams, right? Then, which should never happen. And he went and BK was going crazy on one of his best players. When he's allowed it to get to that point, do you think if it wasn't for that loss last week and what happened that flip happens?
I think that flip happened last week.
Money was happening anyway.
Yeah, I think that happened last week when it got announced because I think
when they're showing BK like killing that kid on the sideline, right?
Yeah. But even before then, I think that's why it was. You think Kelly's out of there?
That's what I'm asking you. Do you think he gone? Because he keeps making all these stupid excuses, right? He still keeps.
Brian Kelly's been a mystery to me since he's been in the SEC, bro. I can't even lie, because this ain't even Brian Kelly that we know.
What did he say when he didn't get Dominic Williams? Oh, these kids want to be bought. We're not going to buy players. You buy women's basketball players? What do you mean?
What do you?
Don't tell me you're not buying players. And Underwood was going to get an $8 million from him, from what we understand. Everything that he does is. I think he's a decent coach, but the guy is. You can't buy anything that he says, man. He's full of shit. Nothing is real. Nothing, right?
Man, it's Brian Kelly. I don't know. Maybe 2 more years. Maybe 2 more years. They kind of just deal with it, because you look at the turnover. They might be trying to see what this first initial wave of NIL adjustments and fallout looks like, because it might fall back in his lap. You know, Kelly is weird like that. That first year or the second year at LSU, that was a weird year for him to have the type of success and turnaround that he did. It might fall back in his lap because he's not doing nothing outrageous. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing nothing. He's not breaking the rules in the aspect of, you know.
Well, I would say this, though. This is the reason. The real reason I'm asking is because, all right, he's over there killing that kid on the sideline, and they are terrible when it comes to having. They just don't have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for right now?
Tact.
Well, the kids, they don't have any discipline. There's no discipline on that team, right? You saw it in the USC game at the first of the year. No discipline. It's been undisciplined all the way through. And then now you're bitching at them? Now you're calling them uncoachable in front of God and everybody? Now? When you didn't fix this problem then? I mean...
Don't be uncoachable. Are you effing kidding me? That joint was crazy. That was crazy.
Uncoachable motherfucking him on
national
television. Look, it only takes.
I've seen Saban go in, not to that. Even Kalen DeBoer getting on Rock Montgomery a few weeks ago.
I have a problem with coaches being like that.
Yeah.
The point is you should have done that in the USC game.
Where was that energy?
Right. Yeah, he waited to show any fire beating on the table after it with his water bottle. That was lame as shit too. Come on.
Diva, man. Divas, that's what they do. But yeah, that was a weird situation. I don't think it had much weight on the Bryce Underwood thing, though. I'll tell you that from I don't think so. I think from the people I talked to, when that information wasn't necessarily leaked, because now it's public information, but when it was made public, I was told that the deal was already made. It just wasn't announced.
Portnoy was really trying hard to make sure that happened, right? Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. So even because the thing was, they wanted an announcement before the game. You know how that does. And that's what these marketing teams are doing for these universities now in recruiting. They know that emotions are swayed in these big games. So yeah, and they wanted it before the big game. But yeah, and you know, a lot of that had to be front loaded. We can't, not necessarily on paper, but
I mean, they were working on it. They even had Connor Stallions working on that. He's working at that school as the offensive coordinator.
Stop it! This is making too much sense, Jason. Don't make it make sense for everybody.
Yeah,
don't make it make sense for everybody.
Hilarious. Hey man, I love college football. This is the pettiness of college football fans knows no bounds.
None. Zero. But let's get into our segment, man. We done cut in about 5 minutes into it. Let's get into it. I'm gonna run this infomercial break, and we'll be right back here on the Coach Smook Network and on Jason's channel. I keep forgetting the HOC
college football.
Hall of Fame college football on the other side, man. We'll be right back with y'all, man. Hey, I'm here on the Coach Smook Network. If you want to join the AAA family, something that Jason's a part of, that's crazy. He's actually a part of the AAA family. Y'all take a moment to try to become part of the AAA, to join the AAA family. Here on the Coach Smook Network. Like I said, getting that Discord, you get recruiting insight, all of the inside news, the authentic approach to it. The delivery is always going to be engaging. You want to get a part of it and help this network grow, continue to help the network that we're building and grow. This is how you do it. Check it out.
Leandre Gota Tejus.
Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. And each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. If you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Keep me off the ball, I run it back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're back. We're back. Hopefully y'all enjoying the show, man. We definitely went way past our time, but we don't care. We about to jump into the matchup. Y'all been waiting for it, man. Y'all been waiting for it. I've been waiting for this discussion all morning. That's why most of y'all showed up. Alabama, Oklahoma, Crips and Tide in here. We about to get into it, man. I'm about to tell y'all something. Over here, we got a little song we like to play before we get into our hot topics. Yeah, this thing go hard now. So ready to play. We ready to play. So today, what you all showed up for, man? Here, Alabama versus Oklahoma this weekend. Number 7, Alabama. Playoff hopes on the line. Oklahoma really just now trying to find some type of identity, trying to finish the season strong, trying to remain bowl eligible, right? Still bowl eligible with a win. Hasn't shown up in the conference like they thought they would. This conference season has not shown up and come like they thought they would. We're going to dive into this matchup today, man. Break it down in numbers. First topic of discussion, man. What does Oklahoma bring to the table this week? Not what they've done all season. That's what I don't want to allow to be a topic of discussion, because every week, and we've seen it across the league, across college football, but more specifically for us SEC fans, we don't know who's going to show up whatever week. Any given Saturday, somebody could lose. So, Jason, being from the Oklahoma fan base, talking for the Sooners today, what does Oklahoma do this weekend? And let's just start from a schematic standpoint. Start with the coaching staff. What does Oklahoma mentality, what do you see them having to do in order to achieve some type of success against Alabama?
What do they have to do schematically? Well, they got to do what they've done the year really well, which is play good defense, especially against the run. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that you keep Jalen Milroe in the backfield. He's got to beat you with his arm if you're Oklahoma. If you let him get out and get running and, making explosive plays with his legs, he's going to kill you with his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to try to make him one-dimensional. You got to keep him in the pocket and rush the pocket very well and just get him off his platform, man. I think that's what you have to do. You got to try to change his timing up, throw different things at him, which this is what Brent Venables does very well. Mm-hmm. He's gonna throw some things at Milroe that he's never seen. I think they'll have a really good game plan, especially having a couple of weeks coming in here. You had a week off, so you got time to kind of look at it. I would just say that that's the only real chance you got, because in the end, the thing that scares me the most is the fact that Alabama's defense has gotten a lot better over the last month or so, and their offense is their offense. I mean, I think that they're really good anyway. But my deal is that I believe, look, why can Oklahoma make it hard on them? Because they're at home and there's pride on the line, right? This is a senior night for them. You've got Danny Stutzman's last game. I think he's the best linebacker in the country. Billy Bowman's last game, Ethan Downs. There's pride there. It's Oklahoma. They don't like to they're not going to lay down for anybody, especially in the Palace. So you got to come in and win the game there. Now, not saying it can't be done, because it has been done already this year, a couple times. I hate it that, this isn't, I don't feel like this is going to be a little bit more competitive, but I think that Oklahoma hangs for a while and then they probably lose by at least the spread.
Okay. And now I'm going to reply like this. I think Alabama has to be so disciplined this game.
Yeah.
If I have to be honest, and I will always be, Alabama on the road has struggled to get solid starts. Even against LSU, even though we really handled that game, we did not start clean. First snap of the game, we got a false start penalty. The composure of this team is different, though. So my approach that I believe from their staff is, in order to really solidify what this team is going to do, or what is going to be going forward identity-wise, what we've been able to build on the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks of actual gameplay, right? We have to start fast, and that doesn't mean a build-up. You have to come out with your best script and go ahead and knock Brent Venables and his defense in the mouth. Offensively, defensively, you got to dial up the pressure with 2 quarterbacks who are struggling tremendously. You have to trust your perimeter guys to really man up and be sound in their assignments on the back end. And then your linebacker play has to be so disciplined, because both quarterbacks, if you get them in open field and you miss a tackle, they can hurt you for some big yardage with their legs. But also the running backs, man. You got 2 running backs in that backfield that are hurting. The only thing that really hurts y'all right now is the inconsistency at the offensive line. So for that reason, if I'm Kane Womack, I'm dialing up the pressures and I'm seeing how fluent and how cohesive this offensive line has been, with all the changes that you have to go through this whole season. So from a schematic standpoint, I think those are two great opening statements for us to get ready to clip. So, boom. Anything else that you want to add on the back end of that before? Because I'm trying to get it to where when we clip, it's going to be fire.
I do like where they're, they've had some injuries late in the year on the O-line, but you've actually seen the left side of that line kind of take shape with the younger guys that you're expecting to kind of step up. So I like where they are there, but I don't love I've been worried about what Kane Wommack's been doing. He's been showing one thing and bringing another. And I think that the way that we've seen, the O-line is definitely better than it's been. But what we've seen from Alabama late on defense with the way that they're bringing pressure, I think is going to be a struggle for Oklahoma. I'd love to tell you that I believe that they can turn it around this week. You got to see it first, right? You just got to see it. But go ahead. Mm-hmm. Go ahead with what you're bringing up. Go ahead.
All right. So next, we're going to, I mean, just schematically, for the advantage, I think we have the advantage. I think we have the more complete staff. You're talking about a offensive-minded head coach who's going to, to this point in his career, has shown immaculate game management skill sets, being able to make adjustments on the fly. I think more so now we've seen him more so direct Nick Sheridan into his play calling style because he loves what Kane Wommack does on and how aggressive he is on his play calling style, which has changed up the play calling style of the offense. So, and I just like Nick Sheridan's, his range, man. Right now, I'm seeing a different side of him these last 4 games, man. Yeah. And his range and understanding of where he needs to direct the ball in situations where the offense is flowing and he wants to keep it at a steady pace or he wants to ramp it up, or if they hit a stop, how to get it back to a level where we're going to give ourselves time and space to figure it out, see what they're really moving around and doing. What kind of shifts are we seeing before the snap, pre-snap? Like he's doing all of these things from the booth, and we're seeing the adjustments made instead of 2 quarters now. It's like drive adjustments. We're seeing every drive adjustments being made. Protections are the solid. So for that reason, and the experience that and talent that each staff has to work with, I think Alabama slightly has the edge, especially with our health, with y'all health, man. Y'all missing too many players. The coaching edge, I give it to my Crimson Tide. Let's talk. You want to go offensive defense first?
For who? Just go where you want. Go where you want, man. This is you on this show. Go for it.
Okay, bet. So this is where and we're going to start breaking down the game. 3 keys that I said was going to be key to to Alabama having success. That was starting fast and explosive run game. Now, we all know Brett Venables is going to design a defensive scheme. The scheme itself is going to be beautiful. When you look at it, it's going to be beautiful. When you look at the call, I have noticed something about Oklahoma. Your perimeter run game has not been the most disciplined this season. And if you look at the numbers, a lot of people aren't testing it. But when you guys are hurt in the run game, it's outside the tackles, your counter run action, your perimeter, your jet sweep actions. Your perimeter containment hasn't been consistent. Coming into this game with Alabama and the momentum that we're building in our run game, you saw the volume pick up against LSU last week. It wasn't only because of the weather. You saw the passing completions. They were there. But I really believe that Kalen DeBoer and this staff and Nick Sheridan and this staff, this offense staff, when it comes to the offense, they've finally fallen in line with what my thinking was. This offense needs to be built off the run game, using Jalen Milroe's legs, the running back stable that you have, and then build into the pass game from there. Mm-hmm. We've seen it be effective 1 week or 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row now. Let's see if we can continue to see that against Oklahoma, whose interior run game is going to be solid. We're going to see if we can really man up and really out physical y'all there. But the perimeter, I'm curious to see how Coach Sheridan designs that and exposes that. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, I know what you're talking about, but I'll tell you, they've been really good on the perimeter too with the running game. Now, I think that if you're going to do something, I feel like he's going to make sure that Milroe has to beat him in the air, or at least that's going to be the entirety of it. Look, the times that they've given up some long runs and stuff, and for the most part, which have been times that they were on the field too much, right? a lot of possessions, stuff like that. The Texas game, they only gave up 13 yards in the first quarter. 13 yards, had a turnover, and they didn't get enough points up on. I mean, they only put up 3 points. That was what they ended up putting up total. But if you go out there and do something with it, but they gave them possession after possession after possession, and sooner or later, even if it's not about being tired, right? It's also it becomes about, okay, well, the offense isn't going to do this. We gotta do something crazy. We got to make something happen, right? So you do outside of what your scheme is or what your job is, and that's what's got them burned. There's only been a couple of guys that have even gotten big runs on them, though. It's not something that I expected. If that's how you're trying to beat them, that's going to play into Oklahoma's hands. I think you need to go out there and hit the deep pass against the parts of the secondary that have been a little shaky, right? The corners.
I don't think that's going to be an issue for us. That's why I didn't touch on it. I think for us to have success, to really handle this game and really decisively, like no struggle, and give y'all a chance, the explosive run game has to be the first thing established. Because I feel like we know we have the advantage in the passing game. Offensively,
I don't think you're going to get the explosive run game until you get them out of the box.
Hey, but what I have seen from
thing that I would tell you that Oklahoma is going to have an advantage with is just that side of it. Only that, though.
The way I see, like I said, Nick Sheridan, and this is why I had to focus on. I've seen him scheme it up to be able to pull guys out of that box, man, to put you in no man's land. Your overhang guy. I forget the young man's name. Your nickel corner. He plays in the overhang. What's his name?
Woody Washington.
Putting him in situations in space is going to be detrimental for y'all in the run game.
Hoping that Woody doesn't play a lot in this game.
I'm telling you, man, that's going to be because we're not going to give you 13, man. We're not going to give you 13 personnel a lot. We're going to give you a lot of 12. But our 12, we're going to H-back. He's going to split a lot. He's going to go to the slot. How do you compensate for that? You have to get somebody over. You have to show, because if you shade, Milroe's going to check down to the quick screen on the perimeter anyways, right? You don't have numbers there, so it's all about alignment. And this is why I love having a panelist on, because I like to talk football. So now I get the people because you know what I'm talking about when I say overhang, extension of the formation, alignment, all of that.
Yeah, I get it. No, and I'm what I would tell you is that at the end of it, where Oklahoma has struggled the most on defense has been with their covering guys down the field, and Ryan Williams scares the hell out of me when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, and not even just Ryan, they've got an entire receiving core that looks really good.
Right.
You know, that's where I feel like I think you want to try to get him comfortable throwing early, but I think you got to keep, if you're Oklahoma, look, you're telling me that they need to get the explosive running game going. I'm telling you that Oklahoma better not allow it, because if they do, it's a blowout.
Right. And that's the key. And that's why I said it's one of my keys. Secondly, and I'm glad I did my keys like this, because I feel like they leave them open for what I feel like Oklahoma's strengths are. I feel like Oklahoma's strength was stopping the run game. That's why I said, so a key for Alabama to having success is to expose their strengths or to weaken their strength and what's became our strength. The run game, the most consistent thing for Alabama the past few weeks. You're talking about a team that's averaging 6.2 yards per carry in the past 3 games. 6.2 yards per carry as a team. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's out there having 6 yards a carry. Your total averages in the last 2 games, 6.4 yards as a team together. So that's solid running. If you can stay within a yard, 1.3 yards of that, and help around that 5 yard per carry average against Oklahoma, you have a solid run game. Because that's 25 attempts for 4 yards. That's 100 yards. Oklahoma's not giving up 100 plus to anybody much these days.
No, but
Brett Venable's not giving up 100 plus.
Yeah, no, it's not you don't see it happen a ton, but I think that it's when you start getting over the 150 that it's bad, right?
That is bad.
And I think the worst part would be you can't let Milroe get a lot of it. You cannot. If you allow Milroe to do what, look, I was looking at his stats the other day and I'm like, And then I looked at the totality of it. I'm thinking, okay, so he's got 17 rushing touchdowns, 600 yards. And then he's just under 2,000 yards, right? So, I mean, the yardage wise is whatever, but the dude scores touchdowns, whether it's with his arm or it's with his leg. That's your deal. You have to make sure that he has to beat you with the arm. If you don't do that, then if you allow that dude to get loose, you're screwed if you're Oklahoma. There's no way you can keep up. Even if you were playing good sound offense, which they aren't, if they put a competent offense on the field today, this is saying it's today, and they put a competent game plan, a competent offense out on the field, which they're going with Jackson Arnold again for whatever reason.
Lord Jesus, thank you.
Yeah, right. If they do that, then they still wouldn't be able to keep up if they don't stop Milroe from running.
I'm glad you said something about Jackson Arnold, because my key number 2 was we're going to have to be able to get pressure with 4. The struggles that you all are having with your offensive line, the less assets that we have to contribute to getting pressure on the quarterback, whether that's hurries, pressures, sacks, the less assets we have to commit. And I mean, I believe we have one of the deepest fronts as far as talent. Even with the injury to Q-Rob, there's a lot of talent that has been playing spot minutes in that position. He walks down to the edge a lot, plays that wolf outside linebacker position, which is basically our defensive end, our fourth defensive lineman / third outside linebacker, or our third linebacker on the field. But what I want y'all to be thinking about is you got a young man that have really been playing spot minutes behind him. Got a young man who's a lot more athletic, in my opinion, and going to give you a little bit more size in Yanzi Pierre, that's going to be playing a lot of heavy minutes. Can he come in and be effective and get to the quarterback like Q-Rob would? Quay Russaw, we know he's going to give your tackles and your offensive line problems. Our inside linebacker play has been getting better. I will say this: Justin Jefferson on the field, number 15 for Bama, is a difference maker at the linebacker position when he's on the field. And Jahad Campbell has been playing lights out now that he's healthy. Can Alabama get to Jackson Arnold? Can they disrupt this offensive flow? Or can they keep this offense? Because I'm not going to front and act like Oklahoma's offense has found any type of identity. That's been the hardest thing to watch. An Oklahoma team without a surefire identity, and we're 9 games into the season. That's not Oklahoma ball. I don't care. Oklahoma has traditionally never had a great defenses or whatever, but they've always had something going for their offense. And so Jackson Arnold is going to be up for a task. This front, Kane Womack, how much pressure are we dialing? How many 5-mans? How many 6-mans are we dialing? Are we crowding the line of scrimmage again? Are we doing that? If so, I think it works to our advantage. But I think the key to this game, to really showing how dominant we are and really solidifying this win, can we get them in third and passing and get pressure with 4 and get to them? How does Oklahoma try to combat that with Jackson Arnold, man? Because your run game is solid. You have a solid run game. Like I said, I believe you got 2 or 3 backs right now, maybe 2 for sure, that I know will continue to grow and develop and be good. You got a third one back there now that's kind of like showing some sparks. How do you think they attack Alabama's front? Because this pass rush, I mean, everybody's talking about it now. The last 3 or 4 weeks, well, shoot, since the Tennessee game, Alabama's defensive front has been looking crazy. The pass rush has been looking crazy. So
again, that's the question. That is the crazy part about it for me, is that, look, earlier in the year, you're thinking, okay, yeah, this is not the Alabama defense that we're used to seeing, right? Mm-hmm. In fact, they're giving up a ton. You know, you got so far out ahead on Georgia and let them come all the way back and take the lead. And I'm thinking, what the hell? But if you watch and if you think that's the same team right now, though, it isn't. It's not. Mm-hmm. So to me, this is all about, it's not about Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold has to not be the guy that you cannot depend on him to win the game. You need these running backs to go out there and run the hell out of the ball. Because if he's getting any kind of pressure, he's going to do something stupid. That's all there is to it. To me, you have to, man, Xavier Robinson last week, and he's going to burn his red shirt for these last 2 games, right? Xavier Robinson better get 20 carries.
Right.
They burned his red shirt by putting him into 2 games for 2 plays at the end of games that didn't matter and not giving him the damn ball even. That's how they're burning his red shirt. This is part of the reason that you're upset. If the people that are upset with Coach Venables and this staff is because of shit like that.
And
stuff like that, right?
Off topic, but kind of on topic, there's some backlash. Even it's gonna affect recruiting in this class for Oklahoma. Those I've been seeing some things, man, and these are conversations. I told you the super group text is weird. I see numbers leave one day and I see them come. I see numbers get re-added. And I'm like, who is this kid? Who is this? So the super group text is real. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the SEC is going to be a lot of movement on early signing day.
Well, I would say that you've got one decommit yesterday that happened. That was Kevin Sperry. I think that's because you're going to have the quarterback, Jaden O'Neal, is going to reclassify and probably be in this class.
Yep.
You can see the writing on the wall for that for a while now, as far as him probably making them. And I'm not saying anything bad about Sperry. I think he's going to be a good player. I just don't think that he was going to get – it was going to be a while before you saw him on the field at OU no matter what.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned. To me, I feel like they got to get out there and run the ball. With Taylor Tatum, the worry about Taylor has been – because he's explosive, an explosive kind of back, right?
Right.
He hasn't been good at pass blocking, things like that. And so they haven't given him enough carries, in my opinion. But Xavier Robinson not getting any kind of carries, any kind of touches, and then we saw him putting up big run after big run after big run last week or 2 weeks ago against Mizzou, and then they stopped going to him at times when they shouldn't have. Man, he needs to get 20 carries, and that way, if you can get something going on the running game, because even if it's not working, you know how this is. Sometimes even when it isn't working, you still got to run it.
Right.
You still got to run it, because if you don't,
you got to make your presence known. It's just about a presence at that point. Like, even if it's not working, it has to have a presence.
You've got to make sure that guys have to stay in the box if you're going to get a shot here. Now, hopefully you see Jalil Farouk come back. He's a team leader. He hasn't really played a whole lot. He got a couple of snaps in the Mizzou game. He still looked a little – he's not on the injury report now, though. So if you can get a couple of big plays, that's really all you're looking for. You're hoping to keep this game low. You're hoping to keep it under 25 for everybody. And hoping that you can get over 15, which is about what they've gotten in this all this SEC season. If you can get over that 20 mark and you can keep Alabama around there, and I think those are long odds to do it. But that would be your only shot. And that's what I was telling you. I don't have a ton of arguments to give you for Oklahoma other than I could sit here and say, Sooner Magic,
Right. But you know what? That's what I like about being an analyst, because at the end of the day, there are going to be games like this where your team really just doesn't. We're not going to. I didn't bring you on here to bash you. This is us educating people what football is about at the end of the day. From a more educated standpoint than just being a fan and saying my team's supposed to win because it's Alabama and my team's supposed to win. No, you got to look at what's happening on the field. Jackson Arnold is not developed enough to really carry a team that needs to be defensively led, nor is this system that Oklahoma. And I said this, and we talked about this before the show. I said I just don't feel like he's going to transition into this scheme.
Yeah.
At this juncture of his transition or his growth, I just didn't feel like it was going to be there for him. I didn't feel like the offensive line situation was figured out enough for him. He still heavy-footed, great arm, still heavy-footed, can't get out. I mean, doesn't have the pocket awareness you want to be able to grow with. It was a lot to work against, even with the weapons before they got injured. Yeah. So it was just a lot. And then the defense, I just wanted to see was Brett Venables' style going to really translate with the personnel he has, because we know that defense is not who he really wants yet. He's working with assets that he's just piecing things together. This recruiting class now has had a year to develop. He's getting his recruits on now this year, his real recruiting class this year. Next year, I think we're going to start to see what this team is really going to be for the next 3 to 4 years.
Well, the defense is, I think
it's good.
They're better than they're better than you've seen in Oklahoma in a really long time. But you've had a couple of injuries that were key. Gentry Williams not being available is killed us at the corner position because Woody is not going to run with guys that you just can't do it. I love Makari Vickers. Makari Vickers hadn't gotten a ton of run. He got banged up early on in the season, so we hadn't seen a lot of him. And you got a guy from San Diego State that you hoped was going to be pretty good, but he really isn't it. But aside from that, they're as good as they – look, I think that their front seven is as good as anybody in the country for sure. Their back end, their safety position is super strong. They're struggling a little bit at corner. Now, what I would tell you is that, yeah, are they going to be better next year on defense? Yes, they are. Because the floor has been raised, not the ceiling, the floor.
Right.
So, I'd say I again will tell you that I believe Danny Stutzman is the best linebacker in the country. I know that there's some other guys that are out there that are very good, including you guys were just talking about Jihad.
Campbell.
Love him. Player. That dude can play, right? But I would just say that it's not about it. I think that when they've had issues, it's been what I told you earlier. It's more that they are trying to make something happen outside of what their assignment is. You've got to be very assignment sound in a Brent Venables defense.
Yep.
He doesn't want you to take stupid chances. But if you feel like your offense isn't going to get you there and you're wanting to win, you're a guy like Danny Stutzman or even Billy Bowman. We've seen Billy make some mistakes, but we've also seen him make big plays.
That's what I tried to explain to the Alabama fan base.
As bad as it is why you've had lapses on the defense is what I think.
Right. And that's why I tried to explain to the Alabama fan base early in the season, like you got a defensive play caller that wants to be aggressive and give guys opportunities to put them in position to really make decision calls, but he wants them in the area so where the judgment call doesn't affect the overall scheme of things. So you got guys in this vision coverage kind of, man, and Brent Venables has more of an aggressive approach on the back end, which makes it tough on the defensive backs. They play a lot of inside and underneath technique that puts them in adverse situations, but he's recruiting you because of your skill set. And I don't think we've been able to see those skill sets placed on the field yet. He got guys that are adjusting. They're learning. Because you're not going to see a lot of inside underneath technique at the high school level, right? A lot of inside, outside, push everything inside to your help. Most of your safety help is going to be inside on the seams. That's what you're taught in high school generally, in your basic schemes and things. But I really believe, like you said, Oklahoma's saving grace is that front seven. The depth of it has been, better. We have to nullify their effectiveness early in order for us to really pull away from this game. I think because of just the timing, man, this is not a good game for Oklahoma this time of year. And to kind of wrap it up, man, because we done went way over, and I think we got some crazy good clips.
So I would say that the only chances you got is that the fact that you're still trying to get bowl eligible, so they're not going to have given up. It's senior night, right? There's pride on the line there. You're going to get whatever they can give you, right? I feel like you're going to get whatever they got. You're going to get that on the field. 100%. Is it going to be enough to win? I don't expect it to be. I don't. Look, we've seen crazy things happen, but the expectation to me, I feel like you guys are playing as well as you've played at any time this year. You're doing that now. So I think that after what I saw in the LSU game on the road, taking it to them the way you guys did, that's a scary thing. And like I said, Ryan Williams scares the hell out of me. And Jalen with his feet scares the hell out of me. If they can somehow find a way to make him one-dimensional, and I'm not saying he can't pass, guys. I'm saying he's a lot better passer whenever he's running too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So I do think that they're, yeah. And if Michael Hawkins plays, I think he brings more to the table. He's fast, super fast. He can layer balls. He can throw. People don't realize that he throws it as well as he does. They've never allowed him to do it.
And I don't understand that because the opportunities I've seen him get, how do you help him grow? You give him more opportunities, give him more reps, live reps, them practice reps. We hear this reports coming out of practice. Oh, he's lighting this up. He's lighting that up. Well, can we put it on the field? Can we give him a chance to do it on the field?
I'd love to see them. I don't know why they didn't do it already. I just got to tell you, I don't understand why they didn't do it already. That's, to me, it's just crazy.
All right, let's get a final score prediction in, man. Give me final score. You want me to go first or you go? You go first.
I'll go first on this one. I'll just say I think that they probably make it a game for a little while. I think I said the other night, and I'm stick to it like 34-14.
34-14.
Bama. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna just tell you what my
60-3.
look. No, I'm gonna tell you what my live game simulation says. My live game simulation says, and I don't want my chat to get mad because it's been eerily similar to these games, right? That's been like my live game sims have been so freaking similar to the real life stuff. Like you got people telling me not to play the games no more. That's how serious. Like so the edit that y'all gonna see tomorrow, you're gonna see the final score. I think the final score was 42-17 was the final score. 42-13 was the final score. I beat an Oklahoma user online 49-17. So I'm gonna go with my score. I'm gonna go with my simulation score. I think Alabama wins this game 42-13. Alabama. I think this is one of those games where you see some resistance early on from Oklahoma. Maybe early in the third quarter because you're going to see Brett Venables probably try to disrupt Jalen Milroe coming out of the half. But I think this offense of Alabama is clicking at the right time. The defense has been on a trend. They've been on a tear. And everybody who watches college football, watches football in general, knows once your defense is on a trend, it's very hard to get them out of it. I don't care who you are. You have to have an elite offense. And let's be honest, Jackson Arnold, Oklahoma, and the replacements and the Pips, they're not it. They're not it. And to be honest, man, I believe, and I'm gonna stick by this, Jason. I got to. Oklahoma wasn't going to be ready this year if they had Jackson Arnold healthy as a starter with all those weapons available. I still think they hovering around that 7-5, 6-6 area, bro. Just too many different defenses. The way these defenses showed up this season. And y'all schedule, Oklahoma got the worst of it. Y'all got the worst of it.
The schedule was trash. That's the hard part. But I'll tell you this, and this is the only argument I'll make about it, is that they were in every game. They had chances, except for the South Carolina game that got away from them really quickly. They had chances to win every game, really. The fact that they didn't is what it is. It's because they didn't even put a competent offense on the field. Even just a competent offense with the way this defense is played could have changed this completely around. The injuries, all that other stuff, they are what they are. It allowed it to be what it is. But I still think that really scheme was the biggest problem, bigger than anything. And I think that, look, the confidence levels that you lost, both these quarterbacks lost confidence in themselves and in you as a staff. We can't continue to allow that. One thing I'll say, Venables better hit the ball out of the park with this OC hire. Got to happen.
Got to. So, I mean, just to stay competent in the conference, because then now you got year 2 in the conference. You got to go in with that extra target.
Same teams, and you got Bama on the road next year. Of course, you get LSU at home, but it ain't gonna get easier going on the road to Neyland next year. It's gonna be tough. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We're gonna see where they end up. But I would just tell you that you had opportunities to win. You should have beaten Missouri. That was the stupidest loss I've ever seen. And Drink is clown. But I mean, look, you were in the game. You were leading the game at halftime against Ole Miss. You could have won it, but. Mm-hmm. In the end, you got to put 4 quarters together. There's some things they got to fix. So, I understand that it worked out the way that you predicted it. Congratulations, Coach Smook. But it wasn't exactly because of what you thought. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, I'm with it though, man. Hey, it is in my eyes, and that's all that matters. So, but nah, man, I really think going forward, OU's going to have a lot of questions to answer with the OC hire, like you said. And I think that OC hire is the biggest part of the future of Brett Venables at Oklahoma, because I don't think he'll stick around after 3 or 4 years of not being able to figure it out. I don't think they'll let him. I don't think they'll let him.
If they don't win one of these next 2 games, the seat's boiling
already. But isn't this only year 4, right? This is year 4, right?
Year 4. If I'm telling you, there's people that want to fire him now.
That is crazy to me.
This is going to take a long time to talk about. So we'll
talk about it
for like the end of the year. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But I'll tell you that I would just say that I don't think they're going to do it. But if you go 5-7 and you went 6-7 in the first season under Venables, no matter, and forget about what it was, that was not a team that should have even been that good. But the results are the results, and the bottom line is there are people that don't believe, and he's shown some lapses in killer instinct. Really, there's just some things you want to see that you're not seeing yet, and he's a first time head coach.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Because I'm telling you, man, there's no denying, man.
You don't have a lot of a learning curve at a place that's a blue blood, bro. You just don't.
Let's go. Come on now. You don't get handed a gift wrap freaking blue blood like Kirby Smart every day. And people just don't understand that. Like,
run him off too until he won the Natty, and they were trying to run Kirby off until he won the Natty.
Well, I'm gonna say this: a lot of that was outside driven. That Georgia fan base, the people that really mattered in Georgia, Kirby's not going anywhere if they got any control. They were willing to give Kirby 10 years to write what Mark Richt had been keeping under wraps for so long. You know, they gave Mark Richt, I think, 11 years, was it? 9 years or something like that. So they were definitely, especially you come in and you take a number 14 recruiting class and y'all go to the number. Come on, they wasn't letting Kirk. But Brett, I
think the reason that he's recruited so well, that Venables is recruited so well, that's the other reason that I think they're going to give him this other year. But it's another year. Shout out to T Boomer's got it right here too. Brent Venables' wife, we found out this week, she got cancer back in May.
Oh man.
So he's been dealing with that too. So which may have a lot to do with whatever's going on with his coaching stuff, right? You know, with the maybe so it's I would ask everybody that, I mean,
prayers up, man. And you know, it's bigger than football. It's bigger than football.
It is bigger than football. And she, Brent has, they never talked about it, but this happened in May and he's gone through the season and stuff. So she just had surgery. We know about that. So shout out to Julie Venables. We hope that she, comes through it tough and does it. She's a fighter. We know that part, but God's going to take care of that. I know we'll keep praying for her and all that kind of stuff. But I was just saying that obviously could have had something to do with it as well. They're going to give him another year, but it's not. Listen,
and for people that's talking crap, that's not an excuse. That's like any job that don't understand that, especially and if you know Brett Venables, his religious background and everything, he's going to take care of his wife. If anybody in the world, he's going to take care of his wife. So prayers up for Brett Venables' wife, man. And that's crazy that that people don't think that it'll affect a real man's psyche when his family is going through. So
the woman in the house is especially for a coach. The wife is
she's in charge. She's the one really keeping it together. If we want to be real,
man, coaches' wives are angels anyway, right?
Most of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is what
I had one. We used to have to keep her up in the stands because she was. She got us a flag in the playoffs.
They keep the home, and she's done that. And look, man, shout out to her, man. She's been a fighter her whole life. I'm hoping that we see it. Look, I think that you probably have a better shot at winning, even though it's going to be in Death Valley next week. We see what they're doing as compared to what Alabama's doing right now. I'm just hoping to stay competitive with it, man. I really am, and I want to see Brent Venables succeed as well. He's done things with the soul mission and things like that.
Hold on, Jason.
Mean a lot.
Jason, hold on.
Is the one last night.
Jason, I got something.
What's up?
I got something. This ain't even for the Bama fan base.
No.
I've been seeing this in the chat for a little bit during today's stream, and I just got to do it. So I had to play just a little sample so y'all can know what's coming. Everybody, coming to you now. Coach Smook, Network Fairweather Fan Report. Ladies and gentlemen, reporting live here from the Coach Smook Network, I have my co-anchor here from the Oklahoma fan base, my brother, Jason Watkins. Jason Watkins, there has been breaking news. We have a Fairweather fan sighting over in your fan base. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I believe it. He's a very, very Fairweather fan. Very, very Fairweather fan. Sooner Cowboys, you've been the Fairweather fan for a while now. Always talking crazy. Yeah. It's sad, but you know he's a Cowboys fan, so he's always used to being losing.
Yeah,
it is what it is there, right?
But you would think a Cowboys fan would understand and not be tripping, acting like, you get what I'm saying. You don't even just support the positives of your team. You've been doing it. You're a Cowboys fan. You know how to be a solid fan. If you can tell anybody that you're a Cowboys fan, you're supposed to be one of the most solid fans ever. Like, you don't care. Y'all can lose 39-0 and you still gonna, hey, boys going to the bowl, right? But come on, fairweatherness is not accepted amongst the AAA family. And Jason, my brother, this is AAA family, and I don't like fairweatherness around it. So Sooner, if you're gonna have Sooner Cowboys in your name, I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more Soonerific, okay? Give yourselves a chance, okay? Be a little more Soonerific. Okay, we don't want none of this fairweatherness around here. Sooners, y'all better get your boy. Get your boy, Sooner Cowboy. Ain't no oh Lord. Don't you oh Lord me. Oh Lord yourself. Because you need to be a most solid fan. I'm a Bama fan. And I wouldn't even talk trash to you if you was, oh, we're going to lose. I wouldn't even talk. It's no fun. Be a solid fan. Hold it down. Jason, talk to your fairweather fan.
This fan tried to tell us last night, get this one, that it's not about developing players. It's just about what they rank in the recruiting, who they are when they come in. It's not even about development. It's about Jimmy's and Joe's. That's all he says. It's about Jimmy's and Joe's. Get out of here. I don't pay him a whole lot of mind these days unless I'm kicking him out of the damn stream. That's what I do. So it is what it is. Yeah. I'm glad you called him out, man. That's funny stuff.
You like that fairweather report?
I did.
Hey. Hey, you can sample it. I can give you the template. I made it. I made it, but I got a template that I want to put out there for, because I think we need to do that. It's fun. And Sooner Cowboy, I hope you didn't take it personal, man. It's all out of fun. I'm a clown.
I hope you did.
I don't be wanting to hurt folks' feelings, man. You know, this world, this society is different, man. I don't want to be responsible for nobody. But you get on. I just want to show love, man. That's how we have fun over here. I check my Bama fans. If AAA family they in here, they know. I troll, not necessarily troll. I get at the Bama fans on a more personal level because you represent me. And if you Bama family, you Bama nation, I treat you like a brother, sister. My brother, we step out and he ain't in uniform or he ain't moving like he's supposed to be moving, I tear into him. But my friend, I'm like, hey, bro, tighten up a little bit. So Oklahoma fans, you guys are my family. You guys are cousins now. You the cousins that we don't like as much this weekend. So for that, I was politely bringing you to notice, Sooner Cowboys. I'm bringing you to notice, but it looks like you have already been put on notice. It looks like you're already on that Fairweather milk carton. So there's a spot in my studio. I'm gonna go full screen. There's a spot in my red room. I'm gonna be putting this spot up of our confirmed Fairweather fans, and the graphic is going to be posted right. Let me see. It's gonna be posted right there. We're gonna put the Fairweather fan list, and it's like 14 names on this list. It's gonna start up here, Jason, and it's gonna be some nice names. I'm trying to find an animated one so it can scroll like a script, but I want to do that, man. What you think, bro?
I love it. I think it's a great idea. Hell yeah, why not?
I'm trying to become the ultimate content creator for information, bro. I love it.
You're killing it, man. Yeah,
and collabing with people like you make it easy, Jason. Like collabing with people who understand that it's not about a click or a view. It's just about vibes, and people are going to naturally gravitate to the real vibes, like authentic stuff. I get tired of watching ESPN. I don't like watching ESPN. I can't remember the last time I watched a full segment on ESPN.
I don't even watch it anymore, really.
When I want to find out something about Oklahoma football, if I want to find out something about Texas football, if I want anything that I want to find out something about, I go and find the guys who are really passionate about this and are not driven about a media agenda, but are really trying to understand the game and project it from their standpoint. And that's all we're doing as content creators that cover these teams for you, especially on the college level. As you know, Coach Smook Network, we're expanding outside of college football, especially next season. We've got so many opportunities coming. But Jason got some huge things going too. And these two networks, I guarantee you, don't be surprised if something huge come out of this, y'all, because because we got the same passion. We got the same drive to really just affect change in our area, in our lane. So Jason, let the people know where to find you, man. Show some love. Tell them where to find you, how to follow your content and everything, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate everybody for having me in here. I know you guys were a little easy on me today, and I appreciate that, man. I love the AAA fam and appreciate Coach Smook for having me on first and foremost. But yeah, man, you can find us at HOF-CFB. It's at HOF-CFB right here on YouTube. Hall of Fame Media, it's hofmedia.us. You can find everything from there. And then, of course, I'll put it in the chat here. On Twitter, it's at JW_HOS. So at HOF-CFB on YouTube. Make sure you go over there. Check us out, man. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of live streams. I have the morning show as well. A lot of times we kind of overlap with Smook. So I know we don't always see you guys in the morning time. So I'm supposed to be on in the morning here. I don't think I'm going to make it on because we have gone a little over. I think what we'll do is we're going to try to do a stream tonight. So you guys are all welcome to join us over there tonight after we get done here. Because I just got called into work. So what we'll do is we'll do our preview on the game for the channel just over there at nighttime. Smook, you're welcome to join in, pop in there with us if you want to tonight.
For sure, bro. I'm trying to debate. I think I got Pike Road High School game. One of my under the radar recruits, man. They team is in the 3rd round. And he called me last night at like 11 o'clock, man. Like, and that's I wonder if that's what you was talking about. Cause that's been my passion, man. Getting these recruits that exposure. The young man had a conversation with a coach. He saw his film on my channel.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, good. I saw your highlight film on YouTube." And he was like, "I don't have a highlight film on YouTube." And he was like, "Oh no, I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw this guy and I saw your film." I mean, talking to his coach, and he was like,
"Awesome, man."
What? And so, man, when I say, and my team didn't, I meant to just say for the announcement, but
more than just what you're doing, right? It's about more than what you're doing.
Everything, bro. And people don't see that in the Twitter interactions and the live shows. They don't see like the conversations I'm having with these families. They don't see us conversate and talk about, man, if we pivot our content here, it can push energy towards this way. Like that's where we're at. We're not, and I can speak for us because we've had those conversations. Some people just do it because that's what they get paid to do. We don't necessarily get paid to do this, y'all. This is passion. This is what y'all see. This is us. This is what we want to build for you all, because you all deserve better when it comes to the content and the context of what your team is being portrayed as, the athletes that we're representing, everything that is tied to what we do. You guys deserve better, and that's what we're aiming to do. So y'all know where to find me at Coach Smook on our platforms. I know Jason got to go, but we still have the phone call line. So all you Oklahoma fans that's standing over on Jason's side, that's been rocking with us the whole show, if he ends his live after we go our separate ways, don't hesitate to pull up. I got the phone line open. I'm gonna hold the phone line open for another hour. This is my first time going over a 3-hour show because I love doing what I do. Not my first time. It's been a while. It's been a while. I used to do 4 hours, 6 hours straight.
We had a 4-hour show last week, man. I was like, and it went by like that, and it goes by fast, man. I love working with you, though. This is had a great time, man. Had a great time, man.
Facts. What we got? Breaking news. My girl Lisa always coming through with the breaking news. I got some of everything over here. Breaking news: NFL Giants granted Jay Jones a request. They're cutting him.
Ooh, peace.
Look, they should have did that after they drafted him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Coach Ricks is this guy, right? Coach Ricks is Coach Smook, first of all. But welcome to the AAA fam, man. Appreciate you for pulling up. And I thought you was my one of my friends from high school.
Smooth. He was calling you Smooth is what he's doing.
Oh, okay. I thought no, because you know people they got takes out there right now. Coach Smooth. I be like, bro, it's Coach Smook. Coach Smook. It's country for a reason. It's a K on in because I'm a country boy. Appreciate you though, Coach Reese. Oh, my sister done pulled up. This girl been out there being trying to be young. Look at you, Susan. And all right, post a picture in the Discord because if your skin glistening, I know something. I'm about to pull up on you. You can't be out here acting up. I'm telling, bruh, she back from the Bahamas and she ain't even post no picture yet. But Jason, I know you got to go, man. Final thoughts. Give farewells and all that good stuff, man.
Hey man, much love to the AAA fam. Much love to the Hall of Fame Mafia fam. Hey man, I had a blast in here, man. Thank you for having me as always. And again, if you want to jump in, I know you got stuff going on tonight, good stuff, and that's the stuff that you should be doing. So
yeah.
I know we'll be doing this again soon. You know.
Oh yeah. You know, playoffs coming up.
Supporting the show. Keep supporting Coach Smook, man. He's killing it. So man, we appreciate that.
All right, bro. Well, you have a blessed rest of your day, man. And if we end up collabing tonight, I'll see you tonight. If not, we'll chat before then. You already know it, bro.
It won't be long. It won't be long.
It won't be long. Roll Tide. Oh, hold up, Jason. Listen to this song. Give me a rating on this song. I don't think you won't mind listening.
Roll Tide on land.
Andre Goto to
Tide on land. All my way. About to go live.
Hey, that's the drop go hard, don't it? Right?
It does. I like it. Okay. Yeah,
okay. I ain't gonna give it to you. I ain't gonna get a rest to you. Just hey,
is that gonna be your new theme song or what?
Man, that is part of like when I do the gaming. Every time we score on the gaming or we make a big play, it's like the theme song. So for everybody, all the Oklahoma family over there, and I'm gonna say family because we are family. All the Oklahoma family, please tune in tomorrow for the kickoff show in the morning. We kicking off at 8 a.m. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go at 7:30 a.m. so I can run the live game simulation. It's gonna be a 30-minute episode premiere on this live stream, and then we'll dive into our kickoff show. And if Jason, if you don't have your kickoff show tomorrow, but you want to collab, we talking all the games tomorrow. That's what we do: kickoff, college pick'em, and all that. So
sounds good, man. I'll let you know what's up with that. I was thinking about maybe scooting over to Norman, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not. So
yeah. Hey, that's good tailgating. I don't care what game. That's Norman always good.
One thing is the last game of the year at home, so it's
you might as well, man. As a matter of fact, that would be cool. What if you tap in early over there? What if I give you the link and you tap in?
Kind of a trek, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but we'll see. We'll see what I'll let you know a little something later.
For sure, right. For sure, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Take care, man. Later. Everybody, Hall of Fame, Jason, man. That's my brother, Jason Watkins. Y'all show him some love. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, Jason, man. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that, man. 2.5 hours with my bro, man. That's solid right there. I can't even lie. It's been a while since we had somebody on the panel like that long. You know, we had Steven, we had Jason, we had Kangaroo. We had a lot of people come through. Ty comes through every now and then. It's been a while. But yeah, that was fun, man. Jason, 334-625-1121 is the number you're going to call right after the infomercial break. Right after the infomercial break, you're going to call in. We're going to get your final thoughts here on the Coach Smook Network of what we will be doing. Jason, let me know. Text me. Do I need to end it live on your end, or are you going to end it? I can't remember how that works. Let me know, Jason, because I don't want to be live on your channel and you ain't there. So just let me know, bro. I don't know if should I end it or does he have that? Am I still live on Jason's channel chat? Jason's chat. Am I still live over there on y'all? If so, let me know so I can end mine. And then if y'all want to join over here, y'all don't feel forced to be supporting me. Y'all can come on over. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going. All right, Brandon, I'm not going to do this on my brother page. Hey, appreciate y'all, Mars, Brandon, everybody. If y'all want to pull up and continue to interact, we would greatly appreciate that. Definitely accept y'all and invite y'all over to the Coach Smook Network. But I'm going to end the lives for my brother. I know he doesn't want me live on his side right now. So I'm going to end it on that side. And y'all can tap in. We're live on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Coach Smook. Thank y'all for supporting today. See now, Jason. Never mind. I you know what? If it does delete it off your page, Jason, I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna upload it in the Google Drive for you. I'll download all the episodes so you can have clips for your own. All right, boom. All right, we're good. All right, so we're going on Jason's side. Boom. 8 likes away from 60. Let's run it up. Come on. Phone line is open now. 334-625-1121. Go ahead and run it up. 334-625-1121. If you want to talk, call in. If I don't get a phone call in the next 3 minutes, I'm getting off of this mug because I'm hungry. I worked out this morning and I'm hungry. My brother got me hype on burnt calories over here. Hype 42-17 Alabama is my final. 42-13 Alabama is my final score prediction. Brandon, I appreciate you for pulling up on this side, man. Hopefully you dropped a like and a subscription already on the channel, man. We got goals. We trying to grow. And yeah, man, we really trying to get some vibes in here. Got some calls on the line. We got 2 calls pull up at the same time.
Call from Zach Willie. To accept, press.
Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game? Talk to me, my boy.
What's going on, Coach Smook?
Nothing much, man. Feeling good today, man. We got one more day. Well, we going to bed tonight. When we wake up tomorrow, got another full day of college football, some good games. But finally, we get to talk about Alabama, Oklahoma. Score predictions, MVPs, your thoughts. Talk to me, Zach.
For prediction, I'm going to go 45-10 Bama.
Zach, hold on. Susan trying to start stuff. Zach, Susan being messy in the chat. I'm gonna tell you what she said. You ready?
Yep.
So we're now, Zach, and I'm glad we're able to have this family moment now because we got our show done. We in our family time now on the phone. So we're in the middle of a show talking about football. Why did Susan, after I said I was hungry, why Susan say she eating Waffle House? Is that nice, Zach?
No, that ain't nice.
Is that nice? Is that nice, Zach? I'm just asking just before I start crying and acting like a little punk because my big sister being mean to me. Was that nice?
No, it wasn't nice.
And then Kimberly talking about I like Waffle House.
I mean, come on now, guys.
Y'all know that hurt my feelings. Like, I could be, man, listen, it's a lot of stuff you could say about Coach Smook, but please don't tease me with food, please. It's gonna hurt my feelings. I'm just playing, Susan. You know, but Susan did it at the tailgate too, because she was them beef tips, them was good, them rib tips. It was good. That food was good, boy. I'm telling you, except for that mac and cheese. I already told my boy. But yeah, Zach, 42-10 is what your final score was, you said?
45-10.
45-10. Give me some stat lines. Give me some highlight stats that you think we should pay attention to. Or Zach, I'm gonna surprise you with one. Give us a reality or reach, and then let's talk about it.
All right. Reality or reach. Jalen Milroe passes for 250 plus yards and rushes for, I'm going to go 75 plus yards.
75 plus Jalen Milroe. I'm putting it in the chat, Zach. Reality, reach. All right, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. What's your thoughts, Zach? What you feeling? You think that's a reality or reach, and why?
I think it's a reality, and the reason why is because, yes, Oklahoma has a good defense, but Oklahoma's defense hasn't faced a true dual threat quarterback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying on that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, Nico can beat you with his legs, but he's not a true dual threat quarterback. He's talented, don't get me wrong, but he's not that. He gives me more of a Bryce Young type vibes where Bryce could beat you with his legs, but he didn't rely on his legs to beat you. He relied more on his arm and his God-given talent. And that's the kind of vibes I get from Nico. And so with Milroe being able to beat you with his arm and his legs, it makes Oklahoma's defense have to play us differently than what they've had to play other teams, from a scheme wise.
Right.
And,
So I'm gonna say this, Zach. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this is a reach only because it says 250. Now, if you said 220, I think Milroe has another game. Well, I'm gonna say it's a reach. I'm gonna give it a reality because I think Milroe gets us probably like 220, 225, right there, and he hurts Oklahoma with his legs again. Like, I think we have seen what Milroe's going to be. Milroe's going to be a 180 plus passing, 100-yard rushing quarterback every game. That's what he's going to have to be for this offense to have success. And sometimes those 12 rushing attempts are going to turn into 100 yards, but then sometimes those 12 rushing attempts are going to be 60 yards. It's just not the ninth one might be the 70-yarder that he lost 12 yards on the other ones on. So in retrospect, he still would have 100 yards total. I think that's how dynamic he is. So because of that, I think we're going to see Milroe's numbers, especially in the run game, and how this offensive identity is. Being confident in Ty Simpson and him being the backup, Milroe's, they're not going to hold back on dialing Milroe's run game up. So 200 plus passing and 100 plus rushing by Milroe is my stat line. That's where I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go reach with yours, Zach. That's a solid one because I had to think about it. I said, Oklahoma, they're gonna want Milroe to pass the ball, and he's gonna have to make 5 or 6 plays in the game where he's gonna use his legs. And in those 5 or 6 plays, I know 2 or 3 of them going to be 30 plus yards. So you're cutting your passing chances, your yardage, not passing chances, but your yardage in half when you let Milroe get out the pocket. You're cutting it in half because he's going to gain 15 plus.
Right. And I agree with you there.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I thought of that right off the top of my head, and just because I give you a reality or reach doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a reality.
Oh yeah. That's why we do them. That's what makes the segment so unique. So we kind of talked about the score prediction. Give me your offensive MVP and how give me 2 players on the offensive side that you think we need to watch for, Zach.
I'm gonna go Kendrick Law and Milroe. And the reason why I go with Kendrick Law is because he don't just bring a pass catching threat. He brings jet screen, jet pass threat too. So there's multiple ways he can beat you, with his skill set. And I think we're going to utilize him more on, the little jet screens or jet passes, touch passes, whatever we decide to call. I don't know exactly what we're going to call or anything, but I think we utilize him more in that run game to get him going and to make the linebackers and them run sideline to sideline, because I don't think a defense has done that to them on a consistent basis.
Right.
And so knowing our capabilities and our style of play calling, I think that would be a benefit for us to use that style play calling to wear their defense down to where it will open up our passing game and big play opportunities, you know.
For sure, Zach. Well, we got more people waiting on the line, Zach. We at the 10-minute mark. Give your final thoughts, your shout outs, and all that good stuff, man, as we close out this phone call and open the phone line up for everybody else, man.
All right. Road Tide to my AAA family. Road Tide to you, Coach Smook. And I'll talk to y'all later.
Tomorrow morning. You better say it right. You're going to talk to us tomorrow morning because guess what? You already know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Tomorrow morning, Zach, be ready. We undefeated when we got our pregame routine on point. We got to be on point tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Roll Tide, man.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. My boy Zach, my brother Zach. We got another call on the line already. 205. Who is it?
Call from
Rico, put me in the game, Coach.
Yo, Rico, what's up, man? You in the game? Talk to me, man.
What's up? What's up, Coach?
Not much, man. How you feeling today, man? Sound like you're a little under the weather, man. You tired or something?
Man, I'm still. I'm trying to improve. My doctor want me to go to the ER today, but I'm being stubborn.
Nah, that ain't smart. I'm gonna need you to hang this phone up. I might hang up on you if you don't hurry up and get your butt up and go to the doggone emergency room. You laughing? I'm serious.
No.
Wait, bro. If you listen, give me your thoughts and get your butt up and go to the hospital because there ain't nobody playing life. Listen, Rico, I care about people too much. I care about life too much in this day and age to be playing around with it. And I understand you probably feel like you know your body better than anybody, but at the end of the day, man, it ain't nothing wrong with being safe, and ain't nothing more important than cherishing every moment you have on this doggone earth, man. And I would hate to wake up tomorrow and not know or to hear that I won't get another phone call from Rico because he didn't go and check himself out at the hospital. So I care that much to let you say what you got to say. And I ain't gonna fuss at you no more. I know you the big brother, but I don't care about none of that. Your health is more important. Say what you got to say about this Bama Oklahoma game and get your butt to that hospital.
All right. But I just believe that this game is gonna be well for Oklahoma. It's gonna be brutal. I want to say this before I really get in. I did enjoy the segment with you and Jason, and that it was awesome. I loved it. But back to this game though, it's gonna be brutal. But I think it throughout at least the first quarter, Oklahoma is gonna try to be competitive. But when Jalen Milroe gets going, it's gonna as the game go on, he's going to drive the wheel out of Oklahoma's defense, and they ain't gonna be able to get off the field, and so it's just gonna not gonna be a a good day for Oklahoma fans. But it's gonna be a great day for Alabama fans. I do believe, and I predict, and Kendrick, piggybacking off what Zach said about Kendrick Law, I believe will have a pretty great game because he's a Swiss Army knife in that wide receiver core, and he can pretty much do it all, and he's big enough to run over people.
Just the muscle. Dude's a muscle, man.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're gonna do some jet sweeps, and he's gonna catch some, and everything. But hey, Ryan Williams probably still gonna end up being the star of the show.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
He probably.
I don't think it's gonna be Ryan Williams this week. Looking at where Oklahoma's weakness is at. Yes, their perimeter They're gonna suffice with the safeties. They're gonna help out with the safeties. They're gonna force Jalen Monroe to second guess on that deep ball early on in the game by keeping the safeties and they're going to intact, and they're going to be able to keep some resistance in the run game by not overloading the box early. Right. The guy that's really going to change the tone of the game is going to be CJ Dupree in the passing game. And I'm going to tell you why, because he's going to be so effective. And this is why I love talking football, because some of y'all, and this ain't no slight. Were you even thinking about CJ Dupree being able to affect the Oklahoma defense in any fast other than what he's always been doing, reliable and blocking and catching? Like, right? That's what we think of when we think of CJ Dupree, right?
Yeah.
On the baseline level, that's what we think. But this game in particular, I'm gonna tell you something. Oklahoma's linebackers have so much assignment responsibility, knowing that they have such lack on the back end in their support on the back end coverage. They have so many responsibilities. The tight end is the key that will slip past them mentally. That is the key that I can guarantee. I can guarantee a 85-90% success rate of that phase of whatever play you put out there. A tight end slip seam or a tight end check release is going to be the thing that's most effective against Oklahoma. So I think CJ Dupree sets the tone, and I think you see the likes of Josh Cuevas, who's more of our receiver, more effective in the receiving game as a tight end. You see him be a lot effective. You see Robbie Oots be more effective in the run game because of the alignment that we're going to be throwing with when CJ Dupree and Cuevas is out there. So that's where I think the difference is made, because you at one point, all Jalen needs to do is hit one of those guys one time in the game, and it let it be a 3rd and 6, and he hits the tight end, and the tight end goes for 15. That's going to mess up the schematic mindset of the defense for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Give me a score prediction. Give me a score prediction.
A score prediction, I'm saying I want to go 48 to 17.
48-17. 48-17.
I actually believe Oklahoma got some fight at home, and they're going to be able to at least get 17 points on the board. Yeah. So 48-17.
Okay.
Or at least around in that total number. So what is that? 48 and 17. What is that?
That's
65? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
65 total.
Yeah. At least in that total range, I think it'd be 65.
Facts. Oh Lord.
But
I'm gonna need you to so I don't catch that in my ear, Pauls. Rico, final thoughts, man. Talk to us.
Yeah, I appreciate your show, man. It's been really getting me through since I've been sick. I hadn't been able to catch it like every single day, because sometimes I'm like sleeping till like 9 something, but when I'm able to catch it, it's kind of helping me feel a little bit better and lifting my spirits and everything.
Yeah. I'm glad we're able to do that, bro.
Keep fighting.
I'm glad we're able to do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is bigger than just sports talk and college football. This is a community, that's a family, that's a network that's going to continue to grow. And I don't care to be a clout chaser. I don't care for popularity. I care about the people that support and support the vision that we're building here. Shout out to the 52 likes on the stream, and we killed our super chat goal on the stream, man. I think, did I get all the super chat? Super chatters in. Sully, Bino, Zach, Dougie Fresh came through with the $9.99. Yeah, we hit our super chat goal and our like goal on the stream today, y'all. If y'all are in here and y'all haven't hit the like button, make sure y'all hit that mug, all right? Make sure y'all hit that mug. But Rico, appreciate you for calling in, man. And Roll Tide, man. You get to that ER and you get better, man.
All right. Roll Tide.
All right, man. Take care. My boy Rico, man. Prayers up for Rico, man. Definitely got to get that health under control. Can't be out here half-stepping with your health, man. Gotta be on top. Be on top of that. So what time is? Oh yeah, we're at the end of our show, y'all. We're at the end of our show. Thank y'all for tuning in today, man. Don't forget, because y'all haven't been, to go check out the white letter lineup. We got our merch. Got our merch out, man. The new white letter lineup. Y'all go check it out. The merch. Get your merch orders in. I don't know what it is with our distribution, but they're sending out a lot of emails saying to go ahead and get your orders in. They're expecting a overhaul for Christmas orders. So if you're going to go ahead and get your orders in for the white letter lineup, go ahead and do that, because this I don't want you not to have it for Christmas. I don't want you not to have it. But in honor of having my bro Jason on today, was I able to get that mug uploaded? Okay, yeah. In honor of my brother Jason pulling up today, I gotta play this one more time. Today, I got a special shout out for my homie Jason Watkins of Hall of Fame coaches over there, the Oklahoma supporter, content creator, whatever listen, my boy Jason got in his feelings. Y'all remember when my boy Jason, I thought we was cool, Jason. I thought we was cool, but now I'm gonna have to add you to the hit list. Heard you blocking people in my family, bro, because we tell you the truth about your trash Oklahoma team. Hold on, bro. I heard you blocking my people, so we got a bone to pick with you at the end of the show. So if y'all can go tag Jason on Twitter, somebody clip that, let him know. We got a bone to pick with you, Jason. Pull up. You and all the Boomer Sooners. You and all the Sooners. Sooner or later, y'all gonna find out the SEC ain't nothing like the Big 12. We told you. You're 2 years out. Brett, respect you, but your team ain't ready. 7-5, 6-6. That's what Coach Smook said. They sure look 6-6. I'm sorry, y'all. I was back there crying, man. I didn't know it was that raw pause and that funny when I made it. And even watching it back now, it is funny now. Like even now, it's funny. I can't believe. I amaze myself sometimes. I don't really give myself credit a lot of times, but I amaze myself at some of the content that we find in just our natural interactions. So I love y'all for that. Thank y'all for supporting the network, man, and being here. Listen, so I'm thinking about I'm gonna go ahead and do the live game simulation, have it edited up. But if you want to join and watch it happen, watch it unfold, watch the uncut version, I'm going to open it up for the whole community. Join the Discord. Honestly, yeah, I gotta do it in Discord because I can't stream it. I don't know what's going on with my OBS, but I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it in the NCAA stream room, and the way that we'll make sure that as members getting access is you join the waiting area. I will be going into the waiting area at 3:00 Central Standard Time. Well, I will be going to the NCAA stream room in Discord at 3:00 p.m. 3:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll be playing the live game simulation live. You will get to see it unfold. No edits. What's being posted tomorrow and preview, that's what's going to be posted tomorrow. But it's a confidentiality thing in there. Once you come in that NCAA room, you can't talk about nothing that happened. You got to wait. So if you want to be in there for that, join the Discord mod. Somebody get them looking real 6-6 is facts. Somebody get the Discord link in the chat for me, if you don't mind. And like I said, don't forget to check out the merch, man. We got all the merch popping up. And don't forget, man, Zach did something yesterday that was really, really cool, man. So if y'all see something funny, if y'all see me say something funny or hear me say something funny in the stream, and y'all want me to acknowledge it, or y'all want me to pay attention to it, you can clip it. There's a clip function here on YouTube. Hit clip. And it'll open up this little bar menu or whatever, and you make sure you go back and you play back. It lets you do 15 seconds, it lets you do 30 seconds sometimes, but clip it, and you won't get to post. You can share it, but if you just clip it and share it, it's going to be saved when I go back and check the comments. It's going to be saved as a comment. So I got a clip that Zach posted yesterday. Let me see. Yeah, I got to do this. I got a clip because my boy Zach, he been doing what he say he gonna do. Oh, my pop's calling me. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure this ain't that important. Pops know I'm live. Let me make sure this ain't important. Hold on, y'all. I'll call you right back. Look, I ain't got you on the live. I ain't put you on blast today. But I am live.
Hey, I looked at the time. I said, "Oh," I
said, "Hey, y'all, Pop Smook on the phone, y'all."
Yeah.
I'll call you right back, though, Pop. All right. Y'all, look, I see. Pop, no. If anybody know timelines and people's schedules, Pop, no. So, if he calling me, I automatically think it's something important and it's an emergency. So, yeah, but no, you ain't got to sign no NDA. You ain't got to sign no NDA. It's just I don't want people spoiling the content. This is me trying to open up opportunity for our community. This is quality content. And so if you want to come in there, any contributions to the network are always welcome. This is not free time that we making this content. Like, I'm going to live at 3:00 because I have somewhere to be at 5. So, if y'all want to be in there, it'll be in Discord. Y'all check it out, and we'll be there at 3:00 p.m. Don't forget, check out the merch, and don't forget, man, we got Alabama versus Oklahoma tomorrow. We got the kickoff show in the morning. So hopefully y'all ready for it, man. I'm excited. Call in, get ready, because it's gonna be a call-in based show again. I like how we did it last week. Let's do it again this week. Let's get it, man. The call-in shows are fire. Share the word, spread the word. Davin, all those people that y'all like to hear to talk, tell them to call in tomorrow morning on the Coach Smook Network. And for all my mods that didn't show up, I didn't see Piano Man, I didn't see Carla in here. I didn't see a lot of them. Where everybody at? I seen my boy Sully pop up in here earlier. Where everybody at? We gotta tighten up, AAA. I might have to move some pieces around, man. But y'all, thank y'all for being here, supporting the network. I appreciate y'all. We're growing daily. Y'all might be seeing some new faces pop up on this screen here. You know what I'm saying? My boy Wade back in the building, been active. This is the second Friday you been in, or third Friday in a row. You must be off on Fridays now. That boy making big money now. He get to be off on Fridays. Lucky you, big dog. But thank y'all for being here today, man. I'm Coach Smook here on the Coach Smook Network. And don't forget, when you see me in the streets, holler at your boy and say, put me in the game, coach. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Holler at you, man. Yes, sir. Welcome. First of all, I just want to say thank you for joining the AAA family. By doing so, you have committed to supporting this channel monetarily, and for that, I could not thank you enough. I'm glad that you saw fit to contribute to the growth of this network, and because of that, you have access to all the behind the scenes content that we're going to be placing on this channel, backstage access to all the vlogs, VODs. We got all types of content. You will have early access to it. Also, any event that you see come out with outside with Coach Smook or anything sponsored or partnered with Coach Smook, it will be preferred, and we will all make sure that we're all taken care of. This community is going to continue to grow. Don't miss out on any opportunities to network. We have other content creators. We have business owners. We got entrepreneurs. This is Coach Smook Network because we believe in networking. We want to uplift the community. So thank you for contributing to helping that mission, seeing that goal. And that's really what we're here for, right? We're here to uplift and continue to grow. So thank you for all your contributions and welcome to the family. AAA SOS.